courtside. We are here for the exciting start to day number 2 of event number 5. This is the event that tells all, as everyone is fighting for those final spots in the playoff weekend at event number 6. I'm Nick England, today joined by another special guest, cutting his teeth, making his debut, Mr. Spencer Andrews, setter, do-it-all man in my absence for the Las Vegas Ramblers. As I stepped out, he stepped in, doing a lot of that general management stuff, working hand in hand with Vinny Rodriguez, the owner of the team. So great to have you here. You know, cutting your teeth now, just following, I guess, right in my path. Hopping right on the mic now. Am I about to be out of another job?
I'm trying to be like you, man. No, dude, thank you so much for having me. I'm super grateful to be here. I think we've got a hell of a match in front of us.
Yep.
And I'm fired up to get into this.
Yeah, this should be awesome to see both these teams. It is worth noting yesterday during that Freedom match, they played OC Stunners. They took that set number 1 and then dropped 3 straight. Went to 5. Apologies. They pulled it back in the 4th. But noticeably, with a very thin roster, Sam Schuldenberg did get hit in the face with a ball by Corey Chavers, and anyone that follows the league knows that sounds like the worst Friday you can imagine. So he actually, there was a little concern about potential concussion protocol. So we will see Jake Milnazik wearing white today as well. I'm not sure yet who's going to start. Sam is playing. He's warming up accordingly. But worth noting, that leaves the only sub on Freedom's bench is a third middle, whether that be Buffin Burrell or Seifert. So they are as thin as it comes today.
They are. Those Freedom guys can ball. They've been playing together for a long time. Pythons is on the come up. I think we've got a good one in front of us.
We certainly do. And before we dive into starting lineups here, I do want to talk a little bit about implications. So currently with Freedom sitting at 5-3, they are guaranteed at least, I believe, that third place spot. I don't know if they can challenge for that second because I think that Stunners is sitting at 8-1 with Tyrants at 7-2, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they've locked in that 1-2. Freedom sitting in that comfortable third. But the big thing here is Pythons is still competing for Blaze. Now, Blaze, they have to have a miracle run. They got an automatic win with a Chicago forfeit yesterday, but they still have to take down the Texas Tyrants in 3 straight sets, basically working against multiple tiebreakers. However, Puerto Rico this weekend, 1 single loss in 5 just gives them the 1 point to break the tiebreaker, even if Blaze does everything right. So a win in the match, a loss in 5, that's all she wrote. So right now, LA Blaze's weekend might end. So that's going to be pretty crazy to imagine.
It is. You know, it feels like Puerto Rico's in the driver's seat. But LA Blaze is on the come up as well. They brought in, some guys from overseas, some Denmark players.
Yep.
Charlie Bell is a highlight machine. You never know what he's going to pull out of his bag of tricks.
He's ready to pull driver at any time.
Yeah, he is. He's going to go up and battle.
Yeah. And like you said, Chase Dorito, we've seen, who's going to be heading to Finland in his first season after graduating from Menlo College. Then also we've seen Daniel Matheny, the UCLA product, off his first season in Denmark. So also with their new setter, Seamus McDonough, off of his first season in Denmark. So they've got a lot of those pieces that as the season has progressed, they've certainly started really elevating that roster. So it's not out of the question, but again, you're against the Texas Tyrants. Yes, he certainly is. But we're about to get into the action here on the court. So we're going to go ahead and run you through the starting lineups on the side of your Puerto Rico Pythons. The setter will be Luis Carlos Ruiz. In the middle, we'll see Ismael Alamar and Ivan Fernandez. On the right side, of course, the highlight machine and all-star right side, Jair Santiago. As the libero, we will be seeing Jose Pacheco. And then on the outside, that'll be Giovanni Yenis, as well as, let's see who they locked in for that last spot, Ricky Vega. So a lot of the same lineup that we saw at event number 4, but no real surprises there. And they have head coach Chaparro back here to run the team. David Chaparro he had a kid mid-season, the third one popping out. So yeah, he's making his return. So excited to see Chaparro back here with the boys. But what do you got on the side of Freedom?
There we go. Good. Looks like we're going to see Matt Seifert, Matt Buffum through the middle, Big Joe Norman on the right, and I don't know which libero is going to go. Both are dressed up. Sam's walking around. Looks like Milnizik's standing up. I think he's going to get the start here.
Yeah, probably go with Milnazic to make sure that he's like,
Yeah.
can see it all.
Man, Corey is not the guy you want to get hit in the face
No,
from.
that is.
Guy's got some heat.
Yeah. Real quick, as we've mentioned before, today we're doing every 2.5 hours we have matches instead of every 3. We do have our second annual NVA All-Star match. That's American Conference against the National Conference. So All-Stars to keep an eye on here from these squads. For Freedom, you're going to see Matt Seifert and Matt Elias are both got nods. And on the side of the Freedom, Jair Santiago, number 14, as well as, and it will soon be announced, but Ismail Alamar in the middle won the fan vote.
Oh, nice.
So Python's got a second guy involved there. Also Jared Ray on the outside.
Wow. Man, talking about this Stunners game yesterday, I watched Jared Ray side out 5-6 balls in a row against a big a Stunners double block, right?
He's touching a solid, legit 12-something.
Yeah. Has he signed anywhere yet, or is he?
No, the guy plays grass in sand 4 days a week. That is his training. That is the way of the East Coasters. But absolute stud. But we are here to get underway. And that's going to be Luis Carlos Ruiz to start it off with that spin serve that he is so well known for. Pass taken by Ferreter. No time. Right off to Seifert. High hand swing. No contact. Net's going crazy, but no call there. And you're not going to see a challenge because no one wants to lose one of those 3 fabled challenges at point number 1. Not worth it.
Man, good to see Big Jai playing some defense on point 1.
Yeah, you guys.
If you get Jair playing defense, I mean, you could steal a few transition points. You could do well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of those things that, when I look at both of these opposites, actually, and I think that's been something that's kind of limited their game in the past. Jair and Joe both been some of the most physical right sides. And in the last year, both of those guys have rounded their game out so well, being very like a lot more defensive touches, a lot of that. The trash that might happen in the middle of a play, I feel like they've really controlled that a lot better, and that has elevated both of their games tremendously. High swing from Ray and misses high hands. Both these teams not finding court and not finding hands to start the day.
They're taking some whacks. It's early on. They are in system, though. Both teams have been in system almost every ball, and if you're passing like that, I think you're going to figure it out, especially with, setters that are this talented.
Yeah. Spin serve, in and catches the line. Buff Daddy on the sideline confirming that's in. If you're on the bench, that's always your role, taking a look, making sure if you can help get a good challenge call, seeing something, because the game happens fast. It takes a lot of eyes, so also it kind of helps keep the guys settled when they're not contemplating, wait, was that in, was that out? You just tell them it was in and just keep the boys moving along.
Next point, move it on.
Set out to Norman. Over the top of – oh, no, he got it. Okay. Got a piece of Santiago.
A little low. Speed looked good, looked a little low through the zone.
Well, what's funny is he's 6'10".
Yeah.
So when we talk about low, it's like for any – I don't know that I can reach that ball.
Yeah, seriously. Man, the opposites in this league are just absolutely phenomenal.
They really are.
Big 6'10" Joe Norman, 6'9" Jai, Ryan Mather, 6'8". Jalen Penrose, obviously my Rambler boy. He's Kevin Cobrine. It's insane.
There is definitely some depth there. All right, Ivan Fernandez to serve now at 4-2. A nice lead for the Pythons early. Freedom definitely still waking up a little bit.
I like what this Puerto Rico's team done in terms of battling adversity. Had a tough start to the year, had a tough event 1 playing Stunners, back-to-back, late night, early morning. And instead of kind of quitting on the season, they brought some new guys in. They've turned it around a little bit and kind of played themselves into playoff contention. Yeah,
there was definitely a lot of, they had some shorthanded events. But at the end of the day, you just got to make it oh, my goodness, Joe Norman.
Big Joe, baby.
Big near 2-2 swing on that. He unloaded on that ball.
And Elias getting him in one-on-one. Big man cleans up. Elias creates so many opportunities for his hitters. I mean, he elevates. He's setting the ball with his, pits above the net.
We really talked about that. And one of his greatest assets, he takes the ball in near the same spot every time. So he gets a lot of just he's very tricky. It's very hard to track what he's doing. But back into the action, Elias with the bump set. Ferreter manages, recycle, covered by Joe. Off net set to Buffum, and there's that consistency. Matt Elias from 10 feet.
We're going to see that on Instagram, man. That is a middle Monday post right there. Matt Buffum, when you watch this back, we're calling it now.
I love that you wasted no time. I do that, and he'll for sure give you a little call out on there. If you don't follow Buffum, he's a Mizuno, one of the 3 Mizuno athletes, does Middle Monday every Monday, so be sure to follow him. Get some tips, tricks, and free points from the big man. Santiago swinging lefty on that, dug by Ray. Ferder recycles and rolls, but there's a net from Jair Santiago, and all of a sudden, Freedom tied it up 5 apiece.
Great volleyball here.
I want to call back, though, in the middle of that rally that we got so excited about, that 3-ball connection. Again, Joe Norman, off speed, ball in chaos, airs it out with a perfect ball that Elias is able to get behind it, coming out of that back row, and just a good connection. You know, I can't say that might have been a ball he would have executed as well in years past. So
in the play before, right?
Yep.
Seifert gets a dig. So you got your middle stepping in, putting in a great float serve, serving him out of system and playing some defense.
The Twin Towers putting in work, both of them sitting at that 6'10", 6'11". Definitely some physically impressive individuals.
Yeah, no kidding, man. You got to take care of these float serves if you're Puerto Rico. You want to side out early because you're going to get some heat from Norman, Ray, Ferder.
These are the quote-unquote freebies.
Yep.
But also Seifert yesterday in that 5-set match with a bunch of missed serves between stunners. Oh, there it is, a kick dig to save, but Buffum coming in. But yesterday there was a lot of missed serves. I believe, if my count was correct, Seifert had 1 missed serve in a 5-setter. So it just he is their steadying factor, really, really bringing that in.
It sounds like he knows his role, right? He's got a lot of guys getting after it. So, he's super tall serving this ball from a really, really high contact point. He can serve a flat serve, play some block D.
And we just absolutely got the caster curse. He heard us. You know what, Seifert? You deserve it. You got to execute, my guy. No, all jokes aside, Seifert's been a really, really good part of that serving scheme for them.
For years.
Yes.
For years.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Jai gets out.
Another one of those guys that you give kind of your green light. Jair will go on 4- and 5-point uncontested service ace runs. Mm-hmm. So, you roll the dice and you kind of stack some of your other servers to support him with those.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Let's see what Joe Norman does here back.
Very similar story.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So the big boys taking rips, trading swings.
Neither oppo wants to outdo the other, so there's a gentleman's handshake. We're both going to leave this way too short in the net.
Hey, let's rip. Let's rip this one, man.
How high's that net? Too high? Copy you. All right.
How are we going to beat Brazil in the high net? There we go. Nice up and down seam.
Good dig by Yenis. Backside to Santiago. He gets the chisel off the hands there. Buffum not quite where he wants to be. Good lateral movement there. Santiago coming inside. That set died a little bit from Ruiz, but, that wasn't an easy set to make by any means. Yenis with another float. Tight pass, overpass. Elias. Block touch, covers. Milnazic outside. Ferreter high hands. Yenis with the dig. Ruiz to Santiago, and now Santiago. Buffum said, hey, man, that last one might have gone your way, but this one is mine.
I like what they're doing, playing through Jai in transition, especially from that second line. Good block D from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
D-ball location looks a little
inside.
Inconsistent. Yeah. I think these setters are still trying to find some rhythm. These attackers are still trying to find some rhythm early in the morning. Ferder's in rhythm. He's bombing.
Yep. Oh, there he is. That's why he's an all-star. Ismail Alamar, number 17, putting some holes in the floor. Nice swing there.
Really, really quick arm up early. That's a great run.
We haven't said his name too much today, and he'll definitely look to make that change early. And that brings Ivan Fernandez front row.
Locked up at 9 here early on. Teams feeling each other out.
Low. And short. Again, part of justification many times for a guy like Jair hitting those big jump serves is you're hoping that the other guy's hitting the float. That's got to go in.
Totally agree. You want that float serve in the court so that Jai can get after it.
Buffum pushing that one in.
Another middle dig.
And off high hands, Ray gets Ruiz there on the way by. Matt Buffum historically is one of the guys that actually has a middle, gets some of the longest serving runs in the league. Because, again, I talked about it yesterday, he plays so much grass volleyball that he is not a whole back row, and he normally has that very consistent float serve. They were using him as a serving sub for Burrell yesterday, and just an aggressive, great float serve, and he's there to play some high-level D. Norman with an aggressive ball, too aggressive. Jared Ray looks to defend, but squeaks that one through.
Man, Jared it's over on that ball.
He's very, very, very vertical.
You know, popping in that float serve too. Look at who you're playing defense behind. You got Jared Ray, who's really elevating. Big Matt Seifert. Matt Elias is a great jumper, great blocker.
Makes it all a lot
float serve
easier.
might get it done. Yeah.
I mean, they gave you guys some trouble when they targeted Felix Chapman.
Yeah.
And you guys had to pull him out of the service line. They're very disciplined on their serve and pass game.
They are. Yeah. They had Ian Cap that game as well. Who, I mean, he's hitting his serve in the 60s consistently.
Easy.
And they're hitting seams, but. We're lucky too, man. On the Ramblers, we've just got super subs. Like,
oh yeah, you have a full second lineup.
Oh my goodness, man. You know, so John Carlson came into that game.
When John Carlson and Eric Beatty are your backup outside, it's like that feels like absolute cheater mode.
It's crazy, man. They locked down the passing. Same Jacob Vanderbeek. I don't know if people slept on it. Event 3, he went like 7 kills on 9 swings.
Yeah.
It was like one of the most efficient attacking performances.
Absolutely, but there's an ace right there for Ricky Vega. Python's been struggling to find some footage on the some footing from the service line, and that's a great start for number 5.
Yeah, that's 2 for him. 1 in the seam.
Good ball by Ray. Joe Norman, that's the connection he wanted. And Jared Ray, when you're the passing outside on that one, that's about as rewarding as it gets. You get a great contact there and just watch him unload.
Man, Joe got up there, turned that cross body. He hit that. That was a great rip. Great feed by Elias. Buffum with a big smile on the bench.
Jared Ray maybe getting a little bit of help on that one.
These Puerto Rico middles are up early. I think it looks like Seifert's read blocking right now. He's not ready to commit with those middles, and they're just up a little too early.
Yeah.
They're forcing him to commit.
Yeah, it was a good cutback, too, attacking that zone 1. Fernandez, another one of the float servers for Pythons. Oh, misses that one wide. By my count, I think that's misses his last 2 serves. And that's a tough spot to be when you're hitting that float.
Jibe, yeah. Takes a lap, cools off a little bit. He wants this ball.
Especially front row. That's their size matchup. When you look at Yenis trying to hit against Norman or Jair trying to hit against Ferreter. And Seifert. Middle's just trading missed serves on their floats right now. But again, this is one of those things when you're 14s apiece, it's been kind of I feel like that's been the story of the weekend is a lot of service errors. Maybe uncharacteristically so, but also the passing for every team has been so good that anytime they're not getting balls cracked at them, you feel that there's no – it really speaks to – the league is really getting to that level where that's why there's so much service pressure. Watch any serve that's not missed trying to be aggressive, and it just feels like teams are insistent passing.
I totally agree. You know, I think earlier in the season – you know, teams are still feeling each other out. They're not as repped out.
Yeah.
So more cut serves, more float serves, you know, you have a better chance to play block D. But at this point, Event 5, I mean, these teams are locked in for playoffs. They're starting to really fine-tune and clean up, you know, in hopes of taking home the cup. So I think, we're seeing these passers force these servers to really get after it and take some risk.
Yeah, and it's fun seeing some of those last 3 teams that are, I say the last 3. There's still 5 teams eligible for the last 2 playoff spots. Pythons on the National Conference side and a far better spot. Also, that Exposure Matadors head-to-head is going to be very exciting.
Oh, man, that is going to be an emotionally charged match.
And, one of those things I was talking with OJ last night, OJ Catalan, who owns Southern Exposure, and we were chatting a little bit about what's on the implication there. So that'll be a fun match to watch. Exposure currently leads by 1 match. in the overall record. But if Matadors was to beat them, then it starts getting into all sorts of crazy tiebreakers, points. And so that one will be very fun. That essentially it comes down to a head-to-head. There are some nuance that, like, you know, a win in 5 may not be enough for Matadors. They have to win in 3 or 4. But that'll be a great one to keep an eye on. And right now, Puerto Rico, we were saying they could even lose in 5, but they're putting Freedom in a spot that they might be able to win this one just straight up.
They are. It seems like both teams are feeling each other out right now. We're going to see what happens when it gets to 2020. You know, if one team can put their foot on the gas, if one team can start to create some separation.
Yeah, it'll be something to keep an eye on. We didn't mention it. We are at a technical timeout. The teams will be back. Just a quick, 30-second, 1-minute breather at 16, assuming no team calls a timeout before that. So we'll be back in just one moment. So until then, you get to hang out with us and our beautiful faces on this fine morning here at Long Beach City College. Once again, I'm Nick England, and this is Spencer Andrews of the Las Vegas Ramblers. And we are back into the action. 16-15, Freedom leading the way by just 1 point.
You know, Tim Ferritter is such a consistent server and player overall. This is a guy I would want serving out of the timeout.
Oh yeah.
Man,
so that he can hit. We're trying to get. We're trying to hype them all up, give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm excited for you to see your first bit of
commentator's curse.
Well, no, the stats. So when you get to look at this, we'll get some stats fed up to us here after set 1, and you can start doing those, check, who's got what. That's always fun. But we've got Joseph Cuevas here coming in as a serving sub for Ismail Alamar, and he leaves that one long.
No argument from Puerto Rico.
No, it was close. That was a very close ball, but that sub undone immediately so that we can see Pacheco return in the libero jersey. Buff him to float.
Nice.
A little bit of chaos and a free ball coming over. Jared Ray will take care of that.
Oh, great dig.
Yeah, nice dig by Pacheco. Tip over the top by Yenis. Everyone pull the s'mores out. Grab your camping chair. We are sitting around the campfire tonight.
You know, I would say smart move. You got the middle playing defense, but Buffum digs, man.
Yeah.
I think Buffum needs to play that ball. I think he knows it. He put a hand up.
Yep.
I think I will say, too, a tale of two different serves, right? We see Puerto Rico middles miss their float serves. We see Freedom middles make their float serves, and they've gone on a couple of runs. Buffum went on a run early. Seifert went on one.
Whoa. Melnazic takes a shot to the face. You got to be wondering, maybe it's time for Tom Burrell to don the white. We're running out of options over here. Melnazic's going to shake that one off, but an impressive set there from Ruiz, getting shoulder to net, not touching the net, and finding a middle in transition because that ball was high in the court. Easy to get a little turned around.
Man, Ruiz is balling. Big, athletic, left-handed setter.
Yep.
Good chase, good effort. All right, you got Big Joe Norman front row, 18-18. Freedom's in a position to get a couple real points here.
Yeah, both of these guys in their ideal lineup. Setters back row. You got Jair front row. Yenis himself is right around that 6'6" as an outside. So Pythons have one of their biggest lineups. Oh, apologies. He's about to rotate front row. He wasn't yet. But it doesn't matter when you see Ricky Vega getting that point all the same.
Row 1 here. So we bled a couple. Freedom has bled a couple side outs here. Two aces earlier. Let's see what Ricky whips out.
Melnazic battles with that one.
Good set, good handle.
Ray dug there, tight ball. Pulled out of the net very well. And a kill in transition, Ricky Vega. Wow, Pacheco, the fact that he didn't net on that ball.
Great handle.
That didn't touch the net until it caught the bottom of the tape, and he still found a good contact. That is a tough read. But that's not a hard read to see as Carlo Edra has to take a time out here at a 2-point deficit. 2018 Puerto Rico Pythons lead. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back in just 1 minute's time. Well, back into the action here, 20-18. Ricky Vega, after a massive swing on a bailout pipe ball, back to the service line and definitely looking to continue pressure and see if he can get Freedom even more derailed. Milnazik with a beautiful pass.
Are you kidding me?
One-handed.
Milnazik.
I mean, he used every foot in the gym to take care of that ball, but Elias wastes no time finding the big man, Matt Seifert. I do have to say, and you'll know it better than anyone, balls that high get very difficult to set. You lose all sense of timing, all sense of spatial awareness. You can't see the block. So it is all by feel right there.
You have to be incredibly patient. Oh, great handle, great clamp by Ferreter there.
Low set to Santiago, tries to get a little bit of a wipe, but doesn't really get the wipe action, just kind of a tip, and Ferreter jams it back. Earlier on, you said, hey, when these teams get to 20, what are we going to see? And there's the response. Freedom wastes no time out of the timeout. 2 straight points, 20-20, and another timeout. So once again, quick breather. We're going to recharge our voices, so we're ready to go for this last 5-point sprint. Don't go anywhere. No surprise to see that timeout called there by Puerto Rico. Try to right the ship a little bit, but I would also be shocked if Jair Santiago doesn't get this set back right now as an attempt to get them another point.
That's an over.
Color me shocked. There it is. Back row attack on Vega.
I like a repeat set there. I think I want to give that ball back to Jai. He's my big man. It looks like, Ferreter's not small by any means, but it's the smallest blocker.
Yep, that's your matchup. Although I would say that the pipe, based on what we've seen from Vega out of the back row, not a bad call, but I still like Santiago more. But this is going to go, well, there it is, back to him.
Wow, good fix, Jai. Man, that step close is something Jai didn't have in his bag 2 years ago. He is just getting better with every year, every pro season overseas.
For anyone that's not familiar with the term step close, basically when you're in a full approach line, that's where it's very easy to kind of get your full momentum, but a step close is frequently when a set doesn't end up where you need it to be. Maybe you kind of missed your approach or you're in chaos and you just take one step, close your other foot in, thus step close, and get up where you are. So it's kind of something you see more in that out-of-system play. But there's an out-of-system play taken to the scoreboard by Jared Ray. A beautiful swing in transition, 22-21.
Elias is doing such a good job handling these balls. I mean, we're seeing him handle super high passes, super tight passes.
Apologies, the score was a little delayed there on the stream, but we've got Freedom leading by 1.
Oh, great set.
And there it is, Santiago. So it's 22 apiece here. We got that all fixed. Appreciate that from the broadcast crew helping out here.
Got a double sub here.
Yep. So the way that this works, we're going to see a blocking sub with Steven Morales, number 7, and then we're going to see another setter coming in. That's Amari Miranda. Amari is in his 2nd season, played for the Colorado Kraken last year. And so this double sub is done to keep a blocker front row. Typically your setters who might be more undersized. Obviously they can't take swings.
Hey now.
Okay, my bad. I forgot you were statting that solid 6'6". But this substitution is pretty common, and it speaks to the depth of bench that Python's traveled with here. Amari with a spin serve taken by Ray.
Hey, you know what, man?
Ooh, buff him Doug again. A spinner comes through. Buff Daddy takes the second, and Norman misses the hands.
High flat. Did he get a piece? Milnazik goes straight to a challenge here. Coaches are talking. Chaparro's putting a hand up. Nope, he's over. Big point here.
So it was a challenge coming through. I didn't see if it officially went. Yep. So there it is. Also, one thing I did miss was a substitution. Ricky Vega came out, and we did see Giovanni Torres come in. So a little substitution there on the outside, but just before the double sub. So there's a challenge coming through here. Again, always love this as an opportunity to So the system was currently down, no challenge available. So we move along. Call on the floor stands, no touch. Pythons lead at 23-22.
Emotionally charged point right here. Repeat set.
And gets the touch deflected out. They're saying no, but basics physics tells you that if he hits the ball into the court and it goes out the court, the net doesn't do that.
Big
so
deflection there.
And you have it's fun. You have the floor mic is over on the side of the Python, so we can hear a lot of the chaos right now. They're getting, they are very heated looking for that. But
emotions are up right now. I mean, that's back-to-back controversy. All right, Norman at the line. Norman, you get to clean up the mess here.
23 apiece. Norman
there
with
we go.
the ace.
There
Oh
was a
my
touch,
gosh. Wow, that is.
Man, you know everyone on Freedom. Ball don't lie, ball don't lie.
Both these teams absolutely chirping it up, and the second timeout called from Chaparro. That's going to be 24-23. Will this match end on the next point? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. We'll be right back. Well, Spence, we are getting everything we paid our ticket price for here. The ticket the price of admission, well worth the wait. 24-23 with number 24 on the back line. All eyes on Joe Norman coming off of an ace and a timeout to ice him out. Nope. Oh, it is good. David Chaparro. That's a coach point for you, buddy. 24 apiece now.
Chaparro's got this Puerto Rico team playing hard, man.
Oh yeah, they've had, he's been kind of in and out, like I said, with the newborn on the way. So it's glad to see his return. Ferreter going 4-4, absolutely crushes that ball. And we've seen Ricky Vega returning. He was subbed out just on a back row.
Yeah.
Perhaps a better passer there with Giovanni Torres. So I was a little surprised because I think he'd been hitting so well. But
where did Tim Ferreter play in college? Do you know off the top of your head?
Hold, please. Set outside. Wow, there he is, number 5, Vega. Ferreter, I don't recall offhand.
It was a Northeast. It was like a D3. Point being, this kid can play, man. Like Jared Ray, same D3 from Keene, New Jersey. That kid can play.
Yeah, and I'm definitely been missing some of the other broadcast boys this weekend, but man, Ira Thor sitting at home punching the air the fact that I can't recall, because that's Tim Ferreter's one of the guys that he saw playing so much.
Man, sorry to put you on the spot.
No, you're good. I should know it.
Oh, great handle by Elias. Step close. Good
dig there from Yenis. Opportunity from Vega. Dug by Ferreter. Backside, Norman's going after it. Blocked, and there it is. Number 5, Ricky Vega putting in the work.
Reach out and stuff someone. That's for you, Ira. we just said his name, We got to
you got pay homage.
Man, I love man, Noah Chas, man, love that guy.
The crew will all be back for event number 6.
That's going to be a good one, man.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun seeing that championship weekend unfold. Float serve from Ismail Alomar and just giving that away. I don't know if anyone saw that USA-Argentina match last night that went 40, was it 40?
43-41.
Man, Argentina missed, I think, 7 or 8 set point serves after 25. You got to clean those up and give the boys a chance.
Men's volleyball, baby.
Set back. And there, that's going to be called a lift.
Reach out and stuff someone.
Is that your new, your entire contribution is just
channeling my Ira. Man, great move by Ray, getting to the pin and going into the
Great
angle.
cover by Pacheco. Unfortunately, that one really kind of sat in his hand. And Buffin with another good float. Yena's tight pass, fixed.
Repeat set.
And that ball is in, finds the sideline. right there. And, you see Steven Morales. That was his last rotation in this little and actually they've just kept this sub.
Wow.
They didn't undo it at any point.
So they're getting Amari on Jared Ray right here.
I think Jared Ray is getting on Amari, actually.
Wow.
This is the matchup you want to be setting into. Elias knows it.
Oh, my goodness.
And it gets rewarded immediately. That's when we see it, Matt Elias sees it. Big opportunity.
Great, yeah, easy side out. Great handle by Elias. I'm very curious about why they are not going back to Jai and Luis here.
Outside.
Great side out, Ricky.
So long as Ricky Vega's on the court, he's been good for the side out. The problem is can you earn the real point? Real point meaning that when you're serving, you have to get a stop on the blocking side and defend, unless, of course, you get the ace. But it's a lot harder when you don't have some of that Jair Santiago size up front and Amari's your blocker.
Yep.
But Vega continues to be an offensive threat. We'll have to see if he's the option still here out of the back row, and they're going to ride the hot hand.
2 aces, and he scored that pipe in transition last time.
Almost 3. Milnazic brings it back with an aggressive ball. Recovered by Norman. Jared Ray, high hands. Dug by Torres. Pipe.
Another Ricky Vega pipe transition. Great ball, Ricky.
If you are a fan watching from Puerto Rico right now, you're just chanting the name Ricky Vega.
Great block, D. Hey, heck of a set getting that ball in the net, I think, for Milnazic, for Norman. Norman did a great job recycling it, giving his team another swing.
Yes, absolutely. That was a very dexterous play, very tight on the net. Vega goes off speed.
Making him side out here.
And Norman dug by Vega. Vega swings, blocked by Seifert. Ray steps in to help. And a middle, over the top, tipped in. Little miscommunication.
Great
Elias
fight.
keeps it alive.
Great fight.
Ray sends it deep, taken by Pacheco into the middle. Ismail Alomar, or apologies, Ivan Fernandez right there, and they take it 30-28. Set number 1 goes the way of the Puerto Rico Pythons. Man, what a battle. Bodies were flying, but at the end of the day, the white and green lock it down, and they send themselves into set number 2 with everything they need. One more win guarantees them. If they won set 2 right now, guarantees a playoff spot.
Wow, that's incredible.
Because it guarantees that win or lose if they go 5, they've got it. So we'll have to see how that unfolds. Again, another 2.5-minute break. You're here with Nick England, Spencer Andrews. We'll be right back. Well, Spence, I think we got everything we wanted to see there in a set one. We were seeing how Freedom was going to come back after a tough loss to the Stunners yesterday. Python's first match of the weekend, were they coming out throwing haymakers? Were they a little rough off the plane? Not at all. They turned it up you called it early on. You said, I want to see what happens when we hit to that 16s. We got 16-16 right off that technical timeout, and boom, both teams really locked it in, started throwing those haymakers, and, going 30-28 in set number one obviously showcased just how hungry both of those teams were.
Yeah, Puerto Rico got to the end of the match, or into the set there, in a great position with Ricky Vega serving. Right,
Yes.
He had already served 2 aces. The last time he went back to serve, he served him out of system and then hit a pipe in transition to score.
Ricky
and
Vega.
There we saw him here.
You said the name, +5 out of set
5.
10.
8 points, man. 8 points in a set. That is unreal.
Insanity. Hit 45%, 5 kills on 11 attempts. He hit 2 errors, and then he had 2 service aces with 1 error. He also statted a block. He is putting on a clinic. For an undersized outside to come out +5 out of 1 set, man, keep him involved. That pipe attack right now really doing damage.
I got to give Amari Miranda credit, too. Coming off the bench at 22-22, hasn't set a ball yet this set. He leads his team to a 30-28. That's ice in the veins, man. Great job by Amari. Back to Luis here.
Yep.
But really, really good contributions off the bench. I like seeing Puerto Rico use their depth.
And, it really speaks to Chaparro. We were going, deep. What are you doing? What are you doing?
He is coaching these
Yeah.
boys. He's got them playing hard, man.
That is a yellow
delay.
card issued.
Delay on the wrist.
But I don't know what the delay was for.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. I think more of a formality than anything. But if you get another one, it's a red. It's a point. So
Yeah.
you got to be careful bleeding that.
Yanis with a good pass.
Oh, off of 1 foot.
Wow. Yeah, a little bit of a,
Athletic move.
almost a front
Front
slide.
slide?
Yeah. Ivan Fernandez there, he really, in order to close to that, because that ball pulled to zone 2 right front, there's no real easy way to get there. So he just had to take off sprinting at that point. And, hey, hard work getting rewarded. Ruiz finds his guy.
Wow, great heat.
Nice pass.
Great handle.
Now
Oh,
Cypher
my goodness.
takes his chance.
And
You're the setter, and you can confirm nor deny this, or confirm or deny it. But I always love watching setters when one middle early on gets that set. It becomes all right, fine, I'll set mine too. I'm not gonna let my guy be out
playing one-on-one,
yeah.
yeah. Oh man, or a guy gets blocked. You're like, hey man, get him back.
Yeah, just those little
mini
head games.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, watch, I can set mine
Yeah,
now. And,
yep.
Elias is like, all right, let's go,
Let's do
Cypher.
it. Yeah. Head up, man. Fernandez and Cypher, they're fighting. These guys are good.
And it's been great seeing Fernandez and Alomar reliably back in the middle. That was something early on that Pythons were missing, a consistent middle presence. They've both really locked it in, and that has helped slow down a lot of balls and just given this team a lot more presence on the net. Ferreter fighting with the top of the tape on that one. Not sure it even went, but
Low swing there.
yeah. All started with an out-assist pass from Ray, but maybe even more service pressure from Fernandez. And that float serve goes long. Doing a quick check. Fernandez, that's his second service error. I thought he had 3 so far, but overall, he's +4. He had a solid first set for himself as
East
well.
side now for him, for sure. Good serve.
Oh, drops it short. Yanis, roll shots deep. Cypher, show us them mittens, and there they are, Joe Norman.
Man.
Wow.
That is a bad man right there, getting up above the net. Wow, that's bully ball right there, man.
That is a little 6'10" to 6'10" connection. when you breathe some different air, you get, living up in the clouds, you get a little bit different vantage point.
Man, get him on the net, let him work.
Low pass fixed. Yanis once again swinging for the fences, but Norman and Buffum shut that one down quick.
One thing I want to point out here, I don't love. So both of those balls were like more medium or out of system. Low passes, they're falling through the hands. And we see the outside on Puerto Rico. He's going in like with rhythm.
It's a
he's
on a tempo.
Yeah, I think on this
Slow
low
down.
pass, let's play a high ball. Wait on it, take a look at the block, and then decide how you want to play it. I don't know that this tempo ball
because he was
works.
even in front of the ball there, so
Exactly.
he's behind himself, behind his shoulder.
So he's got no heat. Yeah, a little more patience I'd like to see.
Great analysis. Couldn't agree more. Pacheco with a great ball.
Good.
And there's the middle. This just literally feels like three or four of the middles just trading punches, and we're all just here for the show.
Man, Luis is running a beautiful offense. You can tell his hitters really trust him. They're getting up early. They're giving him a big window, and he's firing it in there.
And it's nice because for 2 or 3 events, all we could say is, well, is Jair Santiago going to be able to drag this offense?
Jair float serving.
And that's
my
why
goodness.
Never seen that, have you?
I don't know I've ever seen the man hit a float serve.
And you still haven't.
I don't know if I have. Yeah, you're right. Wow.
And that's why certain guys, you just let them jump serve and hope that they figure it out.
I got to say, I used to be teammates with Jai on the Stunners. We've been friends for a few years. Love the man. Love his kid even more. Isabella's beautiful.
And there's Yenis. And again,
fire.
Got behind the ball this time. Wasn't past it already. Good, effective cross-court swing.
Some fire, too. Giving that energy right back to his team. Puerto Rico's focused, man.
And as you say that, I don't know the fans at home can see that. 2 balls get thrown to him, and then a third one just for good measure while Yenis is trying to get ready to serve.
Wow, good set.
But better block. Alomar doing a fantastic job squaring all the way to Ruiz on that. Very, very well done.
Looks like Ferreter wanted a little more space. He wanted to try to swing to that corner. I like getting that ball in the net. You can play a wipe, play a recycle. I mean, you know this, right? We play together.
And that's going to be a kill for Buffum. Once again, middle after middle after middle. Sends that one up or down for Eunice. On broadcast, you still see that one bouncing around up there.
I bet Ferreter puts in a real good serve here.
Well, you heard it here first. Spencer with his third broadcaster curse of the day.
Yeah, I got to learn from that, man. These Freedom guys are going to come after me.
If you don't see Spencer at his next match, you'll all know why.
Oh, good handle.
Elias throws that one back. Buffum to take first ball. Back one. Dug by Pacheco, but not quite there. Dude, this is literally just middle.
Great ball. And they're playing behind. They're playing gaps. They're playing 1-foot slides. I mean, they're running some really creative lines right now.
Set the middle at all costs.
Yep.
Both teams just live or die right now.
Good heat. Great handle.
You know what happened there? He didn't set the middle.
On the perfect pass, if I'm Ismail, I might be barking a little bit. Hey, man, what's going on? Give me that ball.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah. Man, I had this experience on the Ramblers. We were practicing, and I was between Big Felix and Big Jalen. And both of them look at me the same play, and they say, give me the ball. And I say, I got 2 6'8" guys saying, give me the – I don't know what to do here, man.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is 2 of the best players. So you set
I set the middle.
Yeah.
I dumped, actually.
Sub 1.
Yeah. All right, Ismail, give me this flow serve, buddy.
8-7, Freedom with a 1-point lead here. Once again, team just trading punches. Well, middles, trading
Puerto Rico
punches.
doesn't want this 5. Oh, my goodness. Look, he's banging on his head.
They're feeling every bit of that.
I will say, though, I don't think Puerto Rico is trying to get to the 5th set. I think they want to win this match.
Set backside, Santiago catches that one in. I mean, that's as true line gets. He beat Buffum, who had left foot on line, clinical defensive position there, and he still hit the line over his shoulder.
Shoot.
I mean,
Ball's too fast to see, man. He got some serious heat on that ball. Short side set, too, right? The pass was in zone 2. So you play that ball overhead. It's a very short, fast set.
backside to Norman.
Back to it. There you go. Trading blows. I like what Elias is doing here.
And again, I think that something we haven't really talked about is how good the passing has been. Both these teams feel like the blocks are broken, but in reality, it's that the teams are so in system. As a middle, you've got to pick threats. Who's the most prioritized guy? Where are you going? And a lot of times, one-on-one blockers. So it comes down to the setters identifying your mismatches and seeing what you can get done. Great cover by Pacheco. Short ball. Seifert airs it out. Norman swings deep, corner. If there's one thing Joe Norman excels at above all else, he is not afraid to swing deep. And he does it very regularly. And if you're that tall, jumping that high, hitting that deep, no blocker will touch you. So you're relying on a back row defender to try to play into that 5-6 or that 1-6 seam. And that's very hard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, especially
Jared Ray
coming alive right now.
First class postage, sending that one right into the face of Luis Carlos Ruiz. Got to respect the fact he put his helmet on to get in there, but Ray just locked down that
Just
net.
Like that got him right on the nose, right on the schnoz, man.
Yeah, he took that one.
You got to appreciate that, though. That guy, your setter's getting in there covering you.
Hey, the rest of the boys, you got put on notice. Hey, setter sets that ball, turns around, and he's ready to go.
I know. You got to appreciate that, man. Ricky's giving him a little love. Joe Norman, played pro at a high level.
Yeah.
High level. Did some Champions League stuff in Belgium.
And that's blocked back into the head to Fernandez. Luckily, he was able to turn before he caught it in the face, but now a 5-point lead.
We've got
timeout coming. You got it.
There you go. 6'10" Joe Norman, 6'9" Matt Seifert, 6'5", 12-foot touching Jared Ray. It's a big block to get past, man.
It certainly is. We're going to take a quick breather. We'll be right back. Well, staring the biggest lead of the match in the face, time for the Pythons to show if they can battle back in the face of adversity. Matt Elias continue this run on the float serve. And, of course, the middle is the answer. Kept alive.
Cover off the foot.
Milmazic high ball. There it is in the corner. I was just talking about willingness to swing deep. 2 feet off the sideline, 2 feet off the back line. That ball is virtually undiggable.
Joe Norman's such an awesome dude. He just looks up. I'm nodding my head. Great swing. He looks up. He nods his head. I was talking to Joe. He's super tan. He's spending his summer lifeguarding, man.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a normal job during the year and lifeguards on Long Island during the summer.
Could you imagine that guy running out to save you?
Yeah.
His body is the surfboard.
Yeah, literally, man.
Pacheco to take 2. Santiago swinging deep, cannot find the hands, which speaks just to the size. Santiago swinging into Norman and Seifert is probably one of the largest trios of personnel that could be in 7 square feet of space. Pacheco, great pass. Dug by Milmazic.
Freedom is totally in rhythm right now.
Another block touch, and Pacheco can't find that one. 7-point lead.
One thing I like here, I think there's a saying like, if one guy's struggling, sub him out. Give him a breather. If everyone's struggling, flip the setter. Get a different look, get a different vibe, get a different flow. And the wheels kind of feel off for Puerto Rico right now. This is like a 7.5,
Yeah, and they certainly they do. And Yenis is replaced there by Torres. There is that sub that comes through.
There we go. Good battle. Nice. Luis making a play.
Well, the run finally ends after Elias opens up what feels like a gaping wound there. 8-point lead had been established now. Of course, 7 with that side out. Ricky Vega, we haven't been able to say his name much. Granted, we haven't been able to say many of the Pythons' names after a run like that. Good jump serve, and Seifert sends that long by 2 feet with, I think, the first attacking error for any middle this set. from what felt like a cheat code watching those two go at it.
Aggressive set, right? They're around 8 feet off, so a little more medium system. I like Elias trusting his middle there. They both feel great about it. Who cares? Next ball.
Yeah, when you've got a lead built up like that,
Yep.
and you just got the point back for free. You didn't even have to work for it.
Yeah, Python's letting him off the hook a little bit. Would like to see him be a little more patient, but at the same time, you got to take some risk against New Jersey Freedom, man. Those guys are just good.
Back set, Santiago, high hands.
Great
tracked
chase,
down
Matt.
by Elias. Norman gives a high ball just to let Ferreter
Manage.
put it in. Nicely done. Chaos
set.
ensues. Roll shot picked up by Elias. Milnazic takes 2.
Great set.
Norman, free ball, high ball. Covers himself. Ray fixes. Free ball coming and another opportunity. And that slips through. And sometimes that's why the free ball is the most important thing. Give yourself another breath, another chance. And just like that, 18-10 timeout called. Puerto Rico coming off the hinges right now. Little 1-minute breather. See if they can kind of right the ship, and we'll see if they can. But man, they feel like this set's all but done. And you got to build some momentum, and we'll see if they're able to do that just shortly here.
Say, okay, let's give up. Let's get ready for game 3. Are they going to try to battle back? Is Freedom going to take their foot off the gas? Or are they going to finish strong?
Yeah.
So we're gonna see a character thing here, I think.
Cypher with the float.
Nice
Good pass.
Ricky. Short side.
And there's Jair finding one of those big swings we've been waiting to see, and a double sub coming in. That's going to bring Amari Miranda replacing Jair to serve it up. And then number 21 entering the court. That is Arnaldo Torres, and he will be hopping in on the outside. Or he'll be – we'll see what they're going to do. Yeah, he should be blocking right.
Small ball here.
Yeah. Looking for a little bit of control. Maybe they keep him on the outside.
Lefty serve.
Yeah.
Good handle.
Into the middle, Matt Buffett over the top. The middle kills are relentless. Freedom really feeling it. And that's where, it speaks to the depth they have. Also, Doug Zemma, notably not here this weekend, but they have 4 all-star middles that they just rotate through all year. And, Burrell had a stellar performance yesterday. And then Buffum comes out and just picks it up right where he left off.
Hey, here's a call-out. Was talking about how good Burrell is yesterday, and I said, reminds me a lot of Josh Duarte. Up early, really fast arm.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was playing with Josh, if that other team's middle didn't commit, automatic kill. Because he's just up so early.
I mean, that's where he got nicknamed like the stunner killer in the gym.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
As good as Weston Beamer were.
I got to
so
shout
fast.
it out. My boy Nick Amato, right? Josh always
Yeah.
had his number. Nick Amato wedding later today.
Yep, getting married. We haven't seen him in the league
Big
now for
Nick,
2
man.
seasons, but still involved with a lot of the SoCal players. Excited for him.
Yeah, doing the beach thing, doing real well, coaching at Golden West. Nick, love you, dude.
Big swing
Side
there.
out, one-on-one.
Giovanni Torres puts that one away into that hard angle, attacking zone 1. And again, right now, they're not trying to win this set. You're trying to build some momentum, gain a sense of offense. What's the overall game state? And a kill like that, definitely welcome. Ferreter with a tight pass, one-handed dump,
great
picked up by
handle.
Pacheco. Roll shot coming through from Ruiz, but read by a book by Elias. Tight ball, there was a net there, and that was Ferreter on the follow-through. Good discipline play. Again, Pythons, we talked earlier about that free ball need. They're reading when they're out of system. How do we challenge? Take out the setter. Get Elias out of there. Some of those small things and bring a little bit of chaos to Freedom.
Yeah.
They earn the point as a result of good decision-making. Giovanni goes short with the float, out of system. Norman to fix. Norman to get blocked. It is.
I would like to see Jared finish that pass a little more. That seemed like he settled for that 3-meter line. I think he can push that foot serve up.
And that is definitely one of the things that, he is very physical. He is still very, very young and developing a little bit of that confidence in the serve-receive line.
There we go.
But fixes that one right away. And Ferreter blows up Giovanni Torres. 23-15, a very healthy 8-point lead still. I mean, for all the good that we're seeing Puerto Rico start to do now, they are still just
It's a big hole.
They're a set away from winning this one.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Ferreter.
Good heat.
Oh,
great
man.
serve, Tim.
Paints that down the line.
Baller.
Goes thumb down, finds the
Baller.
sideline in zone 5. And that's the rhythm he's been very much struggling to find.
Wow, Ron Dunn just throwing a ball.
Yeah, lobbed that one.
It's a strong man. Big lats on that guy.
24-15, set 2 on the line. We're going to have to see at least one more point before Freedom looks to split this one up at 1 apiece.
Matt Elias up 8 points. Set or dump, bro. You win this on your terms, bro.
I set you all game. You got us
Let me
here.
get this one.
I got
Yeah.
this one. He's got the size mismatch in front of him. Wouldn't be surprised to see the D-ball.
That would be tough to dump that one.
Nice dig by Torres, but just too much heat from Jared Ray. That's all she wrote. 25-16 with an absolute clinical comeback here in set number 2. Freedom has woken up, and they are back on top. Set number 3 coming our way. What will Puerto Rico Pythons do to answer back, or is Freedom just all over this one? I'm Nick England. This is Spencer Andrews. We'll be right back. All right, well, that was certainly the comeback that Carlo Edra was looking for when you know, after a set one like that. And you kind of talked about from 16-16, Freedom was playing good volleyball in set number one. But maybe they were kind of, they weren't really holding Pythons accountable, if that's the terminology you want to use. They were kind of letting them off with some freebie points, and they weren't really punishing the mistakes. Well, a lot of times as a coach, it's like there's not really a coaching change, and they certainly don't have any bodies to change on the bench. So it's, all right, boys, if you want it, go grab it. And I would say that was absolutely a wake-up of like, all right, we want this one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think, you know, the block D came alive.
Yeah.
We saw that rotation. Was that 4 blocks in a row, 4 straight down kill blocks in a row?
Yeah.
We saw the block D come alive. Freedom's a super talented team with a ton of great servers. You know, there's a good chance that one of those, you know, topspin servers or one of those float servers is going to crack it open. Good handle, Jared.
Nice swing down the line, yeah.
Pass to attack. Great handle, Ricky. Another pass to attack. There we go. We got an outside hitter battle.
Well, and that was someone we going into set number 2 we were pretty amped on was Ricky Vega based on his performance in set number 1 there. So it's nice to see him kind of back into it. He went from +5 to +1, so definitely cooled off set number 2. Had 3, you know, added some hitting errors, got blocked there. So a lot of it kind of cooled off, added another service error into that. So wasn't able to positively contribute the way he might have liked, but love to see him get right back involved here. Because now Python gets to answer that same thing of like, hey, that was clearly not our game. But now, you know, we're going to show what we're all about and why we won set number 1. High touch. Good ball for a recycle. Tip over the top, taking Ray out. Middle in transition, sets low.
Oh, no, Ricky.
Ricky Vega with a twisted ankle.
Ricky.
Trainer's going to be coming out here in a moment on the court. Luckily, nothing that we saw from several events ago with Andrew Kohut. Looks like just a bad tweak, but we've had a couple more injuries as a league that has had no injuries, relatively speaking. We saw Sam Schuldenberg take one yesterday.
Big Jai picking him up like a firefighter. Good teammate right there.
Yeah, bringing him to the bench safely. The biggest guy on the court grabbing the smallest guy. And the trainer now going to go to work. And we're going to see Giovanni Torres come out, and he'll replace him, substituting in.
Let's see if Puerto Rico can kind of rally around this a little bit. Ricky's been doing a lot for them.
Well, Giovanni Torres has been having solid contributions off the bench, so big shoes to fill here. Though we just talked about how important Ricky Vega was.
Oh, just can't quite handle that one.
That's kind of one of those experience plays. Jared Ray, when that ball goes that tight, got to get on his back.
Yeah.
The only way that's going to get there is essentially a one tempo of like a back one set. You got to get up there with him. He's not going to be able to fix that otherwise. So, that's some experience. He's a new guy on the squad, but man, you love to see it. Python's answering back in the face of adversity. Tough to see one of your players go down. You're concerned for his well-being, but also you got to quickly shift your gears, get another guy back on the court. And a nice 2-point string there, a block, get some, good touches on the offense.
Yeah, late close by Ivan. I don't think Norman saw that middle coming. Good move, good hanging bang by Jared.
Hands a little late coming over the net there by Fernandez to seal that one, but Ray says thank you all the same.
Seeing these middles read block early, not seeing these commits.
Ray spins it. Giovanni Torres overpass. Milnazic follows it to the line. Make sure that one's going
Cheeky
out with a little,
move.
yeah.
See, Freedom's got a little juice, a little swagger. Chests are puffed out.
The Freedom volleyball that we're so associated with seeing. Accustomed to seeing.
Oh, look. Torres putting a hand up. Come on, give me the ball. Give it to him, Jared. Good handle.
Set to the pipe out of system. Pacheco with a huge dig. Torres chips
Why are
it
we not
alive.
playing these balls to
Milnazic
Jair?
goes high ball out. Norman, tight ball, swings through, and once again we talk about the need for your hands to be early and over the net. Fernandez trying to time that one. You don't time balls against Norman. Get up, take court away, let your defense set up around it. You've got to be there early or else he will take advantage, and advantage he gets.
Puerto Rico's really looking to, play through the middle of the court, play through the pipe. Let's get Jair going early on. Let's give him a swing.
Good pass by Pacheco.
There it is.
There it is to Jair, but
Well,
there's a critical miss. Net is moving. I mean, I saw Luis Carlos Ruiz looking for a little something there, but nothing called, no challenge made.
Good heat.
One option and a little bit of a throw tip into the corner there. Jared Ray gets an opportunity. Triple block, no problem. Once again, I'm going to be a broken record here. That block's got to get over the net earlier. If you see it funnel down the chest, that tells you one thing always. Block was late. They're not sealed on the net, and that's funneling down the front.
Puerto Rico needs to side out here, kind of stay on top of this game. They don't want to be playing from behind.
Ray continues his onslaught from the back line, but there it is. A great pass from Pacheco. Finally gets the one he wants. Fernandez gets the kill out of the middle. And that'll bring Alomar back to the front row, give them some size. They've definitely gotten.
He's got a great touch.
Yeah, he really has been playing well for them. We hadn't really talked about it, but Orlando Santiago coming in, he's staying in to replace Yenis in set 3 here. So 2 new outsides. They're going through everyone on the bench over on the side of the Pythons. Norman covers himself. Farrader's going to get a crack at it now. High hands, catches the touch.
Got a piece. Good high flat. Good high flat. Good corner, too.
Yeah.
Great corner. Fundamental.
7-4, 3-point lead here early. You already said it. Pythons, they've got to cut this run down early. Can't let Freedom build it back up. And
you expect, Freedom to make them side out with this flow serve.
Yeah.
Right?
Tight pass. A little bit of chaos. This one's got to
Okay.
go. Farrader
Fix it.
step close. Kept alive.
great
Can Ray get a
hustle,
third?
Matt.
Nope.
Great hustle, Matt.
Little bit of chaos. Not quite ready for that one to squeak over the net there from Freedom.
Man, you love seeing your setter hit the floor like that, right? Like you love seeing Matt lay out trying to save a ball.
He is one of the most defensive and setters in the league for sure. When chaos ensues, his ability to lay out but also get a very good second touch, it's pretty impressive. Or even those first touches covering up tips over the block.
Yeah.
Santiago here. Man, an ace would be timely if he can get that. If he can get a little bit of kind of squeak a freebie out, you don't have to play for that rally. Just struggling to find his rhythm. Tried that float, wasn't working for him. That jump, still struggling. It's his 4th service error, it looks like, with no aces.
Yeah.
Not a fun serving clip.
Yeah, in general, just looking at the stats from last set, looks like, Puerto Rico's 2 aces on 12 errors. So that's.
And that added one more at least. So we're at 13. And normally the accepted ratio you want to see is about for every error or every 2 errors you want to see an ace.
Yeah.
But also then we look at the pass percentage, and you've got Freedom passing at a 44. Not the best clip, but at the same time, certainly good enough to be winning by a healthy amount.
Yep.
And Ferreter there attacking single blocker down line, gets the kill.
Great
And
run,
that's
Matt.
still just maintaining that 3-point buffer, serving up 9-6.
Yeah, Matt created an opportunity for his guy to score, getting him a one-on-one. Also, giving him a ball before he goes back to serve, right? Tim's going back feeling good, feeling like he just got a kill. Good serve. Quick middle.
Buffum
Nice.
swings through.
Big Jai, get down there, buddy.
And a timeout for Puerto Rico at 10-6. We'll be right back with a quick breather.
In goofy glasses.
All right, Spence. Well, the gauntlet has been laid down. 4 points already in the lead for Freedom, 10-6. Timely timeout. Good usage by Coach Chaparro, but man, they need a side out right now. Ferreter spins. Good pass by Pacheco. Tip, there it is, Joe Norman defense. Ray blowing up Pacheco, but gets the touch. Santiago now on the D-ball, squeaks that one through. Ray and Buffum.
Some fire from Jai.
Yep.
It seems like Puerto Rico's finding a little bit of identity without Ricky Vega and Elias on the court. They have smaller outsides. It seems like they're playing a small ball passing lineup, but they're not playing through the middle and right side as much.
Ismail Alamar's struggles continue on the service line.
So on those 14 misses, I mean, how many are float serves?
Way too many. That's 4 missed serves on 6 attempts for him. I mean,
Take care of
that's
the ball.
just like a guaranteed float. Pop
They
it
can win
in.
this game. I mean, good find.
And there it is, Matt Seifert, 1-on-1. The workhorse getting it done, shutting Fernandez down.
Man, the Freedom block is totally alive, and Puerto Rico doesn't have an answer for it.
And that's something we've seen. They basically shifted away from a lot of their size. You know, they don't have Yenis on the court anymore. They've gone, like you said, that small ball look. And the problem is when you play for small ball, then
I didn't see a touch there.
I didn't either.
I think it's more of a hopeful, you know.
That was way over the top, and everyone all fired up about it. But if you think it was a touch, you know what you can do? Challenge it.
Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is. Stop complaining and just.
Hey, man, I'm not betting against my boy Pat Bradley.
Yeah,
That is a darn good official.
Pat has been one of the most seasoned veteran refs. So if he's overturning that call, he wouldn't do it without very good insight to do so.
Oh, quick middle.
Ferreter, that one slips
Get
through
that
the
ball in
window a
net,
little bit.
yeah.
Python is in transition. Looks
Oh,
for the
that's a
middle.
net touch.
Yep. Norman swings, misses that.
Yeah, Seifert touched it. He said, yeah, I netted.
Yeah,
Lost in the sauce
I
there.
I saw the result, but not the contact. You were on that one, not letting anything past those eagle eyes over there, Spence.
I like those cheap points. Hey, man, we've practiced together a lot. Hey, man, you net touch?
Well, also everyone got to realize when you and I played together for 2 or 3 seasons, we were always on the B side.
Yeah.
And so we are going to take our free points anywhere.
We're dogging them,
yeah.
man. We got our wins.
Always, but you got to
got
make
a lot
sure
of wins.
you got to hold the starters accountable, and you know they can hit hard, but if they're touching the net, doesn't matter.
Applies, man. It ain't ace.
14-8, 6-point lead. Pythons right now struggling to find a consistent way to play back into this game.
You know, England, we got to get our annual tournament win, man.
Yeah,
Last one we won was like, I guess January.
yeah, sounds about
We
right.
got to get another one in here soon.
Hey, I'm back. I'm getting back in playing shape as the season
Hey,
rolls
look good,
around, and
dude.
you know we'll get some of those ball touches, and we'll be there. We'll be there. But in the meantime, you know, making sure all this goes swimmingly, and just enjoy the game from a healthy 50 to 60 feet with balls not getting served at me.
Yeah,
High
I
ball.
don't want to pass some of these jump serves. Good push.
High ball out. Norman taking a nice swing off that double block there, and
Elias with a 30-foot set there going sideline to sideline. Great location.
that tempo too looks like a 3-ball essentially,
Yeah.
just that
Yeah.
flat all the way out. Good looking
Keeping
set.
it high, though, too.
Ready to spin. Pushes it deep. Great pass by Torres. Middle opportunity. Thumb down. Fernandez getting another kill. Man, he's really been quite consistent out of the middle there. That's going to be statting. Let's see.
Is he a national teamer, Fernandez, do you know?
No, he's not. The national team
good.
middles that are playing in Puerto Rico, some of our hometown heroes that have been playing with LA Blaze for several years. That's where Jonathan Rodriguez and Pedro Nieves.
Yeah. Oh, man, great guys.
Backside Norman swinging down the line. Also not starting behind, but he's currently behind Pacheco. But Ricky Massanet was the national team libero. He was playing for Puerto Rico. He and Inger Maises from Matadors were going head-to-head down in some of the Norseca events. Inger was playing with Dominican Republic.
Man, he can play. Ricky Massanet can play. For Ricky to be on the bench is wild.
insanity. But
He
Pacheco's
would start
playing very
on
well.
a lot of teams in
Yep.
this league, Ricky would. Good serve. Good pass.
Cypher.
Oh, scooping, Syph. Let's go, buddy.
Santiago blocked back, and that one goes back. No cover, bringing that ball on a positive reception there. And that's what's so funny, too, is you look at the Freedom guys. I mean, there's a lot of the players that are coaching. That Freedom team has a ton of them. Seifert coaches collegiately.
He does?
He's an assistant coach.
Oh, where
and
does
so
he coach, do you know?
I can't recall off the top of my head, but he's one of those guys that,
Yeah.
you know, if he's going to tell his players what to do, he better be doing it himself. Little palms up, little scoopy in the back
There it
row.
is.
No days off.
Yeah. Man,
Nice
I mean,
serve.
besides coaching, played at such a high level, played First League Germany, played Czech Republic, I believe, playing some great leagues overseas.
Free ball coming in. Seifert
Oh,
takes
free
this
ball
one.
pass, baby. Let's
Joe
go,
Norman.
Syph. Come on.
Joe Norman, you love that. He waves everyone else off.
I love
Seifert
it.
steps
Let's
in.
go.
Fundamental volleyball. You might be a middle, but that's not an excuse.
Buff, let's see that on Middle Monday, baby.
The-
Give Syph some love.
I wish Buffum got the set just so we had the little
So the middle connection.
the middle
Oh,
sandwich
man.
right there. And that's going to be a quick time out. But, you know, a little breather here. But, you know, I feel like we're right back into the situation that we were on before is 8 points at 18 to 10. I mean, if you don't make the move now, you've got to outscore 2 points to 1 and be on kind of that positive side of it, making that move now. So Python's really back against the wall. Spence, what are you seeing as a setter offensively? What's the move here?
It's a great question. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Puerto Rico's playing small ball with their big outsides off the court, but they're not setting their middles and right sides more. They're still, you know, playing through the left side of the court super heavily, and we're not getting the results there. We're just seeing a lot of tips, throws, hitting errors.
I might be
You
looking
got to
at
trust Jai here.
Yeah, and I think that maybe they bring back Yenis because
Yeah.
it's like the passing right now doesn't feel good enough to justify bringing on all the smaller outsides. So maybe, you know, bring him back and in some out of those out-of-system situations, he's going to really help you out. But, you know, we'll have to see what they do. Good ball from Torres.
There we
Jair
go.
gets the
on,
set.
on cue, right? So we get a perfect pass and we play over.
All right, put the crystal ball away. A little bit of fortune telling on your side. Love the insight, all the same.
All right, double sub. We get another blocker front row.
Torres comes in, replacing Ruiz, and then Amari Miranda coming in to replace Santiago. You talk about going to small ball. I mean, you just lost your tower over there with Santiago. But, again, he's back row.
You do, yeah. And,
But-
you know, he's how much defense are you going to get out of right back?
Yeah.
You know?
So, and now you don't have to worry about him hitting D balls. You're getting a front row hitter. So
You get a good little lefty serve, good handle. Wow.
Joe
Wow.
Norman.
Elias and Norman have such good chemistry.
Yeah, there was definitely a little bit of time, a couple years ago, especially when Norman first entered the league in 2020, played actually for Southern Exposure. And one of the things that he didn't quite have that connection locked down with the setter he was working with at the time. And you can tell that's where he and Elias, just 3 seasons of just repping that out.
yeah.
Really, really good connection for them. He's going to send that one long, but Norman definitely just such an offensive presence for this team. Currently sitting at +6 at the end of set number 2. 10 kills on 17 attempts. Hitting at a 59%. Just great match. Buffum gets the overpass. Jousts. Covers. Free ball. Milnazik puts that one over. Pacheco takes one. Ismail Alamar.
Ismail's looking good, man.
Yeah.
He's an all-star?
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
He won the fan vote. Nice. So that trio was going to be Nick West, Shane Beamer, Matt Seifert, and then in the 3-way fan vote on Instagram, Ismail Alamar picked up that vote.
Man, oh, nobody wanted to step close. Well deserved though. There we go.
Ball is out, but Elias calls his touch.
Good guy, Elias.
Yeah.
Good guy.
And again, this is one of those things. Freedom understands more than many teams. Sometimes the discussion that might ensue is going to hurt you more than your flow is going to win for you.
Yeah.
Call it. Just get along with it. And he's very confident in the current status of the game. Norman covers himself. Buffum. That is chowder.
Buddy. Oh my goodness.
That was not the play that Buffum wanted. But again, we don't call sets tight here. You'll see them periodically. That one I'm surprised didn't get called. That was pretty bad. But again, I'm big on the accountability. Pythons is giving away free balls for that. It's like, guys, how did that defensive ball slip through your hands? Stop worrying about that call. Just make the easy play. You got a free ball out of it.
Man, what can you control here, right? Great handle. Dude, Pacheco is unreal, man.
He is. If you've got Massanet on the bench, you've got to have another guy.
Yeah,
and Pacheco's playing great ball. Love to see that swing. Ismail Alamar, once again, really got vertical. He was hitting down on the block there. Just speaks to really how much threat there was.
Fernandez back in the game.
Now, they've closed this down, 5 points. They're answering a little bit. Looking a little cleaned up here, see if they can keep it going. But again, it's all come down to serve and pass. They cleaned up their serve receive a little bit. They're getting a lot more chances. With cycle back, there's the block. Torres.
It looked like Jared wasn't able to reach as much. Some passion from Puerto Rico. I like it.
Pacheco finds himself trying to get back on the court in the front row and waved back a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught it. He has said he wants to swing. He wants to swing to the down row.
Alamar puts one in. One-handed set. Buffum. Dug by Miranda. Free ball from Alamar.
Good play, Buff.
Outside Ray. Covered by Buffum. Elias goes back here to Norman. Down the line, Ismail Alamar.
Captain America, dude. He saves lives and spikes volleyballs, man.
What more dynamic combination could you look for in an individual?
This man. Baller, Joe.
Both teams living in the chaos quite well there. Buff Daddy with a good serve.
Buff Daddy. Good reach, Jared. Good move.
Recycle. 3 ball from off
Gotta
net.
be aggressive for
Slowed
sure.
down on the block touch. Norman clean, but the block is clean. Fernandez and Torres.
We're heating up here, baby.
Hopefully not too little, too late.
Go front row. Oh man.
I don't like that call. Get Jair back out there, but
just to block Jared, if anything.
Yeah.
Hey, Chaparro's good though, and he's got these boys playing hard.
Good Ray, good ball from Ray. Ray takes the swing, and that's exactly
OT, middle of the court zone. It's like me.
Sometimes we all like to think that we
me
can
on
get a touch. You're gonna have a bad time.
You might get 1 out of 10, 1 out of 15.
But that's not the high percentage option there. Good float
you better
serve.
side out, to be honest, right? Like
Torres with the D-ball.
Okay.
There's a good swing down that line, attacking that line seam in 5-6. And they're going to undo that sub now.
There you go. Yeah.
Jair Santiago replacing Mari Miranda.
He's
and
laughing.
Luis Carlos Ruiz replacing Torres on the backside. Good call here. I just hope it wasn't 1 point too late.
Yeah.
Because, again,
4 points. You
Puerto
get 2
Rico-
and they're thinking about it.
yeah,
You know?
absolutely. And, again, it's all about building the momentum. That's what we talk about. The game doesn't just get played set to set. There's the full match. How are you playing this marathon?
Great find. There it is. Another medium system ball, 6-8 feet. That's a good setter hitter connection.
And it's funny, the Freedom guys, you don't realize how tall they are because they're all so big that they kind of make each other look shorter. Seifert is 6'10", so
Yeah.
when you set him 6 feet off the net, he's got plenty of room
Yeah.
to work.
And you can tell he played pro at a really good level too. A lot of, I think, NCAA balls, you would play like a push ball where you create space and throw it on the net for the player. Great run.
Fernandez.
Seifert stayed behind the setter there, right? Even though they were 6 feet.
On a true one ball.
Yeah.
Didn't create
Yeah.
any additional space, but
Nope.
just stayed off. Knows he's got to swing deeper to connect there.
Very hard to do, man.
Yeah. Penn State Nittany Lion, one of several. You also got your boy Penrose.
Yeah. Kevin Gear on the stunners.
Yep. Joe Norman continues. And again, this is just clinical Matt Elias. Every time, if you want to know where he's going to set, look at the block size. He is taking advantage in almost every single rotation. Where's the small blocker?
Yep.
And he's got size matchups. If there's a small blocker, he's got the bigger hitter.
Oh, yeah.
So he's just funneling 80% of sets. You can just look at the block.
And Freedom's passing well. He's, Matt can kind of go wherever he wants. The middles are scoring, right?
Yep.
Both on the one and the gap. So he can go pin to pin.
Dug by Ray, tight ball, overpass.
Ooh. Good hit.
Elias almost gets a little
yeah,
pickup
a little
there.
Scoopy.
But Alomar, once again, I think that's his third or fourth point here in the second half of this game. He's done a nice job.
All right, Jai. What you going to do here?
Just for
If
the
there's
morale.
anyone to get a couple aces, Jai here, man.
Yeah, I do want to. I don't know, man. This is like, I guess you just trust him, but I don't know if I want to see him just go balls to the wall. But at the same time, I don't want to see a serve in the net. Don't
I
put
think
this
you
in the net.
manage, yeah. You work your way.
Well, that's better than serving in the net, but still putting a nail in the coffin. 25-20. So right now, we see Freedom at a 2-1 lead. They lost set number 128-30, then they win a commanding 25-16 and a healthy 25-20. Once again, Pythons, we're seeing them fight back, but a slow start is going to absolutely be the worst place for them to get that set 4 started. So we'll see how they answer back here. A little bit of a talking point for them, little 3-minute breather. So don't go anywhere. This exciting conclusion coming your way right after this. Back into the action here. Set number 4 is about to be underway. Pythons, a win here in this set will guarantee them that 4th place spot at event number 6. I want to say a huge thank you to Spencer Andrews. He has departed to start getting ready for his match after this. Awesome to hear setter insight from a guy that's been in the league for so very long. And of course, couldn't be outdone, needed some more Rambler presence on the broadcast, so now replaced one of his players. We've got owner Vinny Rodriguez stepping in here for some more high-level insight. Appreciate you stopping by. We were chatting yesterday. You were saying, you know, I'll cut my teeth. I'll hop on there, and so just putting you on the spot. So glad to have you on board and hopping in here as this one either goes the distance or maybe comes to a quick conclusion based on how Freedom's been playing.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. We have to keep some Ramblers presence in the booth, so I'm happy to join you.
Yeah, make sure the fans, you know, all exposure for Rambler all the time. You know.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I don't know how much you've been catching. I know you've been grinding down there on the social media side, working a bunch of behind the phone, behind the cameras. But so far, Freedom just feels like they're just so in control. And a lot of these different personnel being used. And once again, we see another sub for the Pythons. They're going to a new outside, joining Giovanni Torres. We're seeing Arnaldo Torres come in. He's played a little bit so far. Just took the reception there, but not a guy that they've been using as much. Pacheco takes first ball. Backside, Arnaldo getting used right off the bat. Milnazic feeds Norman. Norman out down the line, disciplined blocking, funneling him there, and that's the kind of the play you want to see right off the get-go.
Absolutely. I think for Puerto Rico to have a chance to come back here in this match, they're definitely going to have to neutralize Joe Norman there on the right side.
Yeah, when we take a quick look at how he's doing thus far, Joe Norman, 17 kills on 28 attempts, hitting 61%, +9. He is definitely the overall match leader in kills and overall points scored with 19. So no one else is even close. He's 40% ahead of the next closest guy.
Yeah, that's an extremely impressive stat line for him. He just continues to improve and impress here in the NVA.
We've been singing his praises all day, and he just continues to really deliver on every aspect of his game. Santiago, though.
Another opposite to be reckoned with, Jair Santiago.
Santiago so far is sitting with, that's going to be 13 total points. He's +3. That'll be 11 kills on 19 attempts. He's still hitting over 53%, but you got to see Ryan Mather's been far and above one of the best opposites this season. And, I think that there's a little animosity here, too, because Jair got that opposite all-star vote over Joe Norman. And, I think that between and some of the NVA team circles, that's one that everyone's going to have an opinion on.
He feels a little slighted.
Maybe, and this is his chance to just let everyone know he might not be playing tonight, but, hey, I'm going head-to-head with the guys you picked. So here's my resume, just a quick reminder. So
I love that narrative. I love that.
Definitely putting in the work here. Amari Miranda's getting the start. Arnaldo Torres recycles. Great ball by Pacheco to keep that alive. Elias all the way to the net. Great ball. Ferreter dug by Torres. Ray stepping in. And Boffum shut down in the middle by Fernandez. We were critical of how many blocks he wasn't quite sealing. In transition, identifying that from Buffum. What a move from number 10 for Puerto Rico.
That is such a disciplined, great read by that middle. Puerto Rico is a team that seems to thrive on that energy. So if they can wake up a little bit here and put a few points together, Freedom's going to be in trouble.
They really certainly are. And that ball caught the pin on the way by Pat Bradley. Sometimes that's very difficult to see, but I think he heard that as it went by, and that makes it pretty easy. Not a lot of disagreement, but Joe Norman wants that one back. But finally, Puerto Rico, 2-point lead early.
Yeah.
And that's, they've been falling down early. So if they can kind of battle and maintain this, they're in a good spot.
Absolutely.
Miranda's out. Arnaldo Torres covered off the thigh of Alamar. Oh, no.
Can't give points away like that. Not to Freedom.
Ismail giveth, Ismail take it. He great. Just it speaks to just being in the right place, right time. When you get that dig off your thigh, that only comes because you're in the right spot. But man, send that one into the corner. Just give it some air, some breath. Give it some life,
And that's one thing that Freedom does so well is they're so disciplined that they just don't give you many points.
Yeah.
So it's tough to make errors against a team like that because you really put yourself in a hole when you have to earn every single point that you get.
Yeah, we've been talking. It's funny. Spencer might have stepped off, but I feel like we're continuing the same conversation we've been talking about. And that's why Freedom, I've always talked about, they feel like if you could have a team in the league that you had to play against in the practice gym every week, I feel like they're the most quintessential team because they're so disciplined on serving. They have a great spread between the variety of outsides from Chris Vaughn, Ian Kapp, Ferreter, Ray, Milnazik. They have such different looks.
Yep.
Also, between their 4 middles, then also you see a variety of liberos, different setters with Sullivan, who's a bigger setter, got the dumps.
Yep.
They just have so many different looks, and they're so disciplined that if you can play against them every day, you're going to get better.
Absolutely.
And
they've
been
been playing against each other every day. You can see the results with them
Yeah.
on the court. I mean, that disciplined block, it speaks to what you're talking about right there with Buffum and Elias.
Yeah. Also, they're all just such well-rounded players playing grass, sand,
Yes.
everything. And so they're all just well-rounded players.
Yep.
Jair Santiago on the D-ball, and now another block. It looks like set 2 coming back here. We saw that Freedom block really be one of the difference makers in that 25-16 win in the set 2. Back-to-back blocks here now.
Great 3-man block. Heads-up play by Elias, the setter there, to make that move and get 6 hands over the net.
Very rare that you see a D-ball get the triple block.
Right.
Tight pass. Jared Ray heads up, not netting on that. Arnaldo, there's an angle, 4-4, a very welcome cut shot.
Great shot.
Milnazik's not someone we've had to talk too much about today. We kind of mentioned the narrative early on that Sam Schuldenberg, the normal libero, took a shot yesterday that maybe put him on concussion protocol from Corey Chavers on an overpass. But Milnazik was a little unsteady to start the set, and he has definitely stepped into the role. It's hard as an outside, the passing side, that's not anything new. But controlling the defense
Sure.
and Freedom gets so many touches that they live in chaos. And so for someone that's not used to kind of controlling that, there's a lot of responsibility there.
Yeah, and the fact that you haven't had to talk about Milnazik much shows how well he's doing as a libero. I always equate a libero to an offensive lineman in football. If you're not talking about him, they're probably doing a stellar job.
Yes, and it's unfortunate to be that guy, but props to Milnazik, props to the block. Matt Buffum, pin to pin. He's been in all 3 of these terminal blocks, and Buff Daddy well in effect here.
Matt Buffum is making some incredible reads and some really big-time moves right now. And from our vantage point, being right here on the net, you can see how far he's getting over the net.
Yeah, it's clinical. Deep float, nice pass. Ismail Alomar, an exclamation point on that cutback.
Alomar said, I'm a good middle, too.
Yeah, there's, I might have been in the fan vote, but maybe I should have been in the top 3 and not been back down in that area. He's really had a stellar performance here today so far, except for on the service line. The service line has not been his strong suit.
Let's see if he can right that ship here with this serve.
Puts it in. But ended abruptly, Jared Ray. And again, we kept talking about with the smaller blockers, with Amari Miranda on the court, Matt Elias has a field day with what pins he wants to utilize and just attack through those windows of smaller blockers.
That OH1 Oppo combo with the Freedom is really tough to defend. I mean, Joe Norman and Jared Ray are both contacting the ball at the top of the antenna consistently.
So not only, to follow up on that, not only is that meaning that their offensive threat is just insane, but it means that you need blockers sizable enough to take court away. And that's so rare that a team will have their counterpoints.
Right.
And also then you've got to line them up in the right rotations. That comes down to the coach showdown.
Absolutely.
Between sets. And also in terms of the timing, this is like one of those little nuanced things. You have some time before the match starts in that first setup. You have to put in your lineup during the side switch.
Right.
So there's no conversation. You don't get to look at your personnel at the end of the set. You
Right.
need to know what you're doing in the next set.
Right.
So you're already playing the chess game while you're trying to coach through the end of the set. So it's something you don't really consider, but now that I am coaching this season, I am feeling that plenty of times, especially in those 25-23 knockdown dragouts.
Absolutely.
You're going, who am I feeling? Is someone hot? What do I need to do? And
Right. It's a difficult balance because you want to stay dialed into the set that you're in, but you also have to start thinking about the next set and what you're going to do strategically.
Yeah. High ball out. Torres might be swinging a little lower across the net than some of the big boys we've been talking about, but if you're not going to be a disciplined block, you're just a target.
Yep. He didn't quite get over the net there. That was Ferreter, I believe, and got used on the block.
Man, I felt that yesterday. Chandler Baugh just put on some problems for my guys. That lefty smaller outside. I was joking with him after the match, after they reverse swept us. I don't think that he ever hit the court, and he's like, man, I wasn't aiming for the court. You guys were giving me hands, and it's just.
Yeah, Chandler Baugh was impressive yesterday, and from the service line as well.
Oh, God, that lefty, he was aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive hitting seams, just going up and hitting the ball.
Norman here once again attacking that line.
Great set by Matt Elias.
Yeah, man. But again, we've been charging Puerto Rico with, can you keep that 10-10? Can you keep it tight? Yeah. They opened up in set number 3, still very rigid, and they were down 5-6 points. It was 10-18 last set at this point.
Right.
10-10. Don't give up the 8-point run now, boys, but we're in a way different game state.
Absolutely.
Good pass by Pacheco. One-handed dig, but that's going to be a net from Buffum. And again, I love their willingness to use their middles. It's something all season long that I feel like they've been lacking. And as they've gotten them more consistently at the events, but also just more comfortable in the offensive scheme, they need that so badly.
Absolutely.
Backside Norman. A good dig by Fernandez, but not quite able to handle the heat. Tied at 11s now. Feels like we're right back into set number 1. Both teams were split even at 16s. We're right back in that. I love to see this look from Puerto Rico.
Absolutely. They seem to just be in much better of a rhythm in this set. And like you said, just not getting themselves dug into holes that they can't get out of.
Yeah, and now some of those mistakes, Freedom's going to feel them because they don't have – the worst thing is when Freedom has that 4 or 5 point buffer, every guy on that team feels unlocked, and they are just green light, and that is not an easy way to play that team.
Yes. The Ramblers saw it then too.
Yeah.
And they served us really tough.
Good ball from Ray. Santiago finally finds his serve there, and now Joe Norman gets the ball off block. He's been attacking true line a ton today and reaping the rewards.
Absolutely, and Elias, credit to him. He's just putting him in some great spots. And two things that Elias does really well is he just gives you swings on just about every set that he throws up, and he finds his hot guy. When Norman is going, he's feeding Norman the ball.
Yes, religiously. One-handed dig. Oh, my goodness, that ball in system. Now Ray gets the cutty down the line, the thumb down, all on the back of Ferreter. I think he banged his knee pretty good. He's got some his knees are not fantastic, and every now and then when he makes those big moves, he knocks them pretty good, and he'll walk it off. He'll be fine, but he's just grumbling. The old man grumbles right now. They're both he's been a high flyer for a long time, and you can only do that without repercussions for so long.
Right.
And periodically, he bangs that right knee pretty hard. He did it last event at Event 4. He just caught it straight on the kneecap, and he just feels those stingers a lot more than some might.
Absolutely. Speaking of old man plays, that was a high-level experience shot by Jared Ray for a young guy to not go up there and have to rip every ball and find a spot to score a point. That's
something we've talked about for Freedom for so long is, we were holding them accountable, is that they weren't necessarily, wow, there it is once again. They weren't bringing in talent to replenish. They'd always been such a thin roster relatively, and they didn't quite have those reliable backups. And this season, adding Sam Schuldenberg, Derek Sullivan, and Jared Ray as 3 of those pieces feels like, those guys have been all-stars on their previous teams.
Yeah.
So
it just gave them a lot of depth.
It did. And Jared Ray is completely new to the league.
Yes.
He is –
and impressive in his rookie campaign.
Yes. He's an all-star in his first year.
Yeah.
We have a couple guys, Lior Schiffer, another guy brand new to the league. Not as young, but I mean, still a very young, 24, I believe he is. And
he's been great for you guys this season.
yeah, picked up an 18-point performance yesterday.
Yeah, that's impressive. Freedom's making some errors here, especially from the service line. They're letting Puerto Rico hang around, which is definitely something you don't want to do against this team.
Puerto Rico's bench a little quiet, though. If they can get that team spirit back in them, that's where, man, it feels like you're playing against 12 people, not just the 6 on the court.
Absolutely.
Milnazik overpass.
See if they can turn this one.
Oh, my goodness. The one-handed set from Miranda. He definitely fixed that.
Oh, yeah. That was he bettered the ball. That's what you teach all the new players out there. And it wasn't a great pass from the libero on that free ball, and he handled it perfectly.
I do want to say, though, one of those things, Pacheco's one of those liberos, that he was definitely trying to set tempo. Yes. He was not trying to just give a free, like, okay, here's a ball that's on target. It was, let's establish a quick ball, speed it back up, and return it.
Yep.
And kind of missed the execution. Great idea.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that just speaks to how good Amari Miranda, who wasn't even the starting setter here, but we saw him all last year for Kraken. But he just comes in here, one-handed delivery system, and Ismail continues to deliver. But a nice service ace there. And, again, we're back at 15s.
We're back. Puerto Rico build a little momentum here. Let's see if he can get another one.
Nice serve. Another one indeed. But the D-ball, Norman covers himself, airs it out. Opportunity for Ray. Nice dig from Pacheco. Norman in transition. Ray hammers. Block touch by Alomar. Another chance for Freedom. And Freedom rings true with Captain America, number 24, Joe Norman putting that one down. And that brings us into the tactical timeout at 16-15. Well, we are certainly seeing a good bit of an answer here from Puerto Rico. We were talking about how they had kind of shifted to that small ball game there in set number 3, and it felt like they were losing a little bit of their sense of how they normally play the game. But right now we're seeing a lot of great rallies extended. Looking very good here. What are you seeing on that side?
Absolutely. I think they've definitely turned it on from the service line. You've seen a couple aces there, and they just like I said before, they're in a better rhythm. It just seems like they found a bit of a connection, and they're not getting in those early holes. So if they could keep this this lead to a minimum, they're going to have a good chance to win the set and push it to 5.
Yeah, and I think it comes on the back of some of those errors that you don't want to see that we were critical of during the first parts of the set. Ismail, I mentioned how many serves he's missed. He's put 2 or 3 in a row in. Right. And it sounds like a small thing, but when you're making those kind of small mistakes, when guys like that plug their holes in their respective ship, now the team is going. Because if every guy makes one consistent error, all of a sudden that's 5 or 6 errors.
Right.
That if everyone fixes their one, now you're all of a sudden not 18-10, it's 18-16.
Absolutely.
And I think that's more where we're finding these guys. They've gotten that 1 or 2 more digs. They're getting 1 or more block touches, and it's putting them in a great spot. Milnazik barely getting off the court, almost had 7 on. And there it is, a nice swing from number 11, Giovanni Torres.
And the interesting thing for Puerto Rico here is you haven't seen much from Jair in this set. They've been setting a lot of middle outside, so if they can get him going here at the end, they're going to have a good shot.
Yeah, and it's all about that matchup. And, it's been interesting to see as the team has developed here because Jair has been that answer all season long. Yes. And right now, he's not.
Yes.
All right, well, Ismail, we challenged him
on
to
cue.
see. Yep. Another opportunity. Catches Ferreter, and Norman's the only option, but there's the block. Again, give your boys a chance to play the game. Let him make a block move. Make Norman think twice because he's scored, I think, 5 out of the last 5 swings down the line, and they finally get the stop there.
If you're coaching for Puerto Rico right now, are you basically saying, go get Joe Norman, don't let him beat us?
I think that has to be it. Honestly, I kind of want to bring in my right side blocker to help if Seifert runs anything but a 1 that you're helping there too, and kind of just let the outsides reign free because Ray's been scoring pretty automatically.
Yeah.
You just slow everyone else down. You can't stop everything, so don't let Norman be the guy that beats you.
Right. Oh, missed opportunity there.
Yeah, you want that one back. That's a tough one for sure. But again, they're playing the rally. There's certain teams that when you go to long rallies and you think about that way, they're going to be the one that you're like, oh, well, they're going to win. Python's playing long rally volleyball. They're going to be the one that wins at the end of the day. That is their game.
Yep. Scrappy team. Just need to be a little bit cleaner in transition.
Ooh, back row attack. That's the second time they've looked for Arnaldo Torres on that, but been blocked both times, if I'm not mistaken. Disciplined blocking move, a little bit of a bunch read there. Norman steps in, helps out Seifert.
Yeah, Seifert camped on that one. He wasn't even nearly fooled by the middle, was waiting for that big attack.
Torres loses the handle on that pass into the net. 2-point lead at an untimely spot, 19-17. So, man, Pythons losing the handle. They've been going point for point. This is the wrong time to open it up there.
Yes.
Hopefully they're able to shore this one up. I'll be curious. David Chaparro has been pretty quick to make some substitutions and adjustments. I'm curious. I'd almost look to go back to Yenis. He's their biggest outside, and I thought he was passing pretty well.
I thought so too. I thought he was playing a pretty good match up until they subbed him out. He might be a really good sub, especially helping that stabilize that blocking as well.
That's what I'm saying. Just kind of a 1-2 punch, and it's the front row outside right now.
Right.
So you're not putting him in back row hoping that he rotates up. Like, you're going to get an immediate return on investment for that adjustment. So
Absolutely.
I'll be curious if they do that again. Admittedly, at 19-17, I want to see that adjustment now. I don't want to see one more point and go to 2017, because then he's really digging out of a hole.
Yes.
Not a quick adjustment. So we'll see. Chaparro's call, but that's my take on an adjustment I would be making right here.
I completely agree. I would also like to see them get Jair going here at the end of the set a little bit. I mean, he's a proven point scorer in the league.
Covered back. Torres with another swing, catches the line. I don't think he was even above the net. There was a lot of wrist snap, a lot of zhizh on that ball, and he caught zone one very well.
And he is, if you could see on the court how undersized he is against Seifert and Norman over there.
Little David and Goliath story right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amari Miranda, the lefty spin serve, handled well by Milnazik. Joe Norman blocked back. Milnazik lays out. Brought back Elias, airs that one out. Free ball opportunity. Oh no, set goes low. Quick tempo left short by Fernandez.
Just going back to that, transition execution. They're getting the digs, they're keeping the rallies alive, but late here in the set, they just aren't finding that final terminal swing in these transition opportunities.
And to your point, I like Jair Santiago. Go to him in that spot.
Right on cue.
I will say, the more I've coached this year, it is always easier up here than it is down there.
Yeah.
But that's where sometimes the coach has got to step in and tell your setter. Because sometimes the setter is in the weeds a little bit, and he's trying to outdo too much. Make it simple. You got a big hammer. Solve the problem at hand with your hammer. Overdo it.
Yes. Don't overthink it. Go to your guy.
Ray with an out-of-system pass. Freedom does just that. Not the beautiful point Norman might want, but after getting terminal blocked and a deep block recycle, you'll take it. Get back in that positive stat column.
Yep.
21-19, 2-point lead. Matt Seifert has been a problem on the service line. Buffum, Ferreter, Norman is a great front row. We've seen Seifert pick up multiple digs so far this match.
Deadly float server, Matt Seifert.
Yeah. Good pass. High ball out. There's Santiago. Ray with a nice little J dig in transition. Pacheco. High ball swing. Amari Miranda covers that, and that means Pacheco's going to go to Santiago. Santiago, once again, use your hammer. He's your guy. Ride your horse. As far as I'm concerned, if you get a ball, you set Santiago every point, ride or die by number 14.
Yes, there's a reason he's the NVA kill leader right now and an NVA All-Star unanimously. He's the real deal on the right side. Give him the ball.
Backside, Norman, and Santiago gets the block.
And he can block.
You love to see it. And it's actually one of those things that we have been critical of a long time. Santiago is a big guy. Sometimes he does struggle to get that full penetration you want to see for a 6'10", 6'11" right side. But right there, brilliantly closed. Left hand drops in. There is no room. And we were talking about how successful Norman was attacking the line. And just like that, Santiago takes it away, ties it up. Aces, 21 apiece, blackjacks.
And credit to Chapa for moving Jair to the left side to match him up against Joe Norman.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that. I was kind of thinking what rotation we were in. It's a great recognition. But a good side out there for Freedom, not wanting to sit in that rotation for too long.
Yeah, big side out here for Puerto Rico. You don't want to get into a 2-point hole after 20. See if they could get Joe Norman off the service line.
No, they cannot. Norman there, and he did it on his last serve too. You talk about how he's continued upgrading as a player. He's hitting an 80% serve. That's not his full gas serve, but his ability to control that spacing, find that seam. Every guy in Puerto Rico just looked at each other and then watched that ball. No one even moved.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the high-level play.
Yep.
And we saw Chavers yesterday out of timeouts. He got 3 timeouts called against him. He went full gas, missed 3 serves in a row. And it really just was like, oh, well, look at how good those timeouts are from Freedom icing him out. And he kind of kept proving why they were using them.
Right.
Norman right here understands the moment, understands the game state, embraces it, and just absolutely plays the right ball and rewarded for it.
That's part of the growth of Joe Norman over the last couple of years here in the NBA. I don't think he does that in 2021.
No.
And now he's so refined and polished as a player now, and he has that control to be able to hit that seam at 80%.
Yeah.
23, 20, or 22, 21.
And now he's given himself a chance that like he can hit whatever serve he wants because he's got that 1-point buffer built in on top of it. But again, goes for the control. Pacheco gets the ball. And there it is. Nice transition. But again, you're okay with that. You got to play your point.
Yep.
But Puerto Rico loved that. And that's what good coaching is. That timeout gets called. You are anticipating, guys, he's going to roll this one in. Mm-hmm. Pacheco, nail this pass, give us a chance, 1 ball side out. And that's the story that Coach David Chaparro wrote with that timeout. So,
interesting sub here, taking out Jair as a serving sub.
And they've been doing this the front back with Amari. Luis Carlos Ruiz makes his return.
Even with the double sub, I would still like to see Jair go back and hammer that ball, but hey, it worked.
There it is. Arnaldo Torres continues to excel. And that's something we talked about because we were, Spencer and I were having a lot of back and forth about that. Jair's defense has gotten better, but he's still a bit of a hole. And so if he's not really connecting on the D-ball, whether it's him, the setter, or whatever it might be, this is a good move, but it makes you trepidatious because it's removing their guy. Oh, man, that block travels the distance off of Steven Morales there. 24-23, match point. Tim Ferreter staring this one in the face. All eyes on you, buddy.
It was a good move there. Just unfortunately went out of bounds the long way there.
Traveled all 30 feet. Hey, and there it is. Ferreter leaves this one. Right now, LA Blaze fans, you're holding your breath because if this point goes the way of the Pythons, we're 1 point away from LA Blaze getting knocked out without even playing. Again, they got the win last night with the forfeit.
Yes.
So that's why we haven't seen them. But wow, big serve. Jared Ray against 3. Doug tracking it down. It's pulled back. And a free ball sent over. Not quite able to get the swing. Ray swings again and long. Looking for a touch. No touch called anywhere.
I think you'll see a challenge here from Carlo. It looked from this vantage point that it may have changed directions. I don't know what you saw.
Honestly, it was one of those that you could tell me anything, and I would believe exactly what you said.
It was tough to see.
I have a hard time believing every guy on Freedom got that wrong, that there wasn't a touch.
Right.
At the same time, for as much as I didn't see it, I'm just glad I'm not Pat Bradley and the reffing crew out there because that's a tough one. But they're going to take a challenge here. And again, we haven't seen too many challenges this match. The rules are in the first 4 sets, 3 challenges are awarded at the beginning of the game. And if you get the challenge right, you keep it. If you get it wrong, you lose it. So both teams, I think, are sitting at 3 challenges right now still. But so that's going to be evaluated. They're going to look for a block touch. It is worth noting when they take it up top to the booth, it has to be irrefutable evidence. They have to overturn the call, just like in any other sport, baseball, when they started doing those reviews, football, things like that. So
the call on the court is extremely important.
Right, because you have to see enough. And so that's where Mike Mon, our head official, he runs our entire reffing crews here. He's the one up top that goes to the booth, looks at what we've got on our system, looks at a variety of camera angles, and is going to look for that to overturn.
Absolutely.
So, but also worth noting, this isn't a quote-unquote timeout. So all the players must remain on the court. So that's where you'll see a little bit of gamesmanship of how do teams handle this moment. Some teams, like Wild, I always bring my guys to the sideline. I'm standing on there, and we're having a little powwow.
Yep.
Some teams, they're just, hey, stay loose, stay warm. But technically cannot leave the court. So you'll see guys bringing water to the court, kind of using that. And this is a tough one. We talked about the importance of it. If this stands 25-24, and honestly, when you see it start taking this long, I start losing confidence because they're looking at a variety of camera angles, and so they're not sure, what's going on there.
Right. Both coaches anxiously waiting here to see what the result of the challenge is.
Ball confirmed out. No evidence to overturn. So, I always have some discussions with Mike Mon what he sees afterwards. Sometimes it'll be like, this is close, but we don't have the irrefutable evidence. Sometimes it's just a clear and definitive no. But 25-24. Here we are indeed. This might be the formal elimination of the first team, although Chicago won't be at event number 6. So we know they're eliminated. This could be – there it is!
Wow.
Puerto Rico Pythons on the back of an ace serve without winning the match guarantee themselves a ticket punch to event number 6, and they know it. You can see the energy there. What a move.
That's a big-time serve in that moment. He went with reckless abandon, said, this is going to be ace or error.
Yeah.
I'm going up to hit this thing. And he put a great serve on Jared Ray there.
Rip it, found the right target, handcuffed him, and just absolutely handled business. Wow, we talked about Arnaldo Torres. He came in earlier in the set as a sub. There was some chaos there with Ricky Vega getting injured, rolling his ankle, and he's done. But we had seen, a variety of outsides cycling through. They've used 4 or 5 different outsides already. But he started this set, and it was great to see that while he maybe wasn't as successful in the pipe, he was getting – he got 2 kills back-to-back.
Yeah.
When they were down 2018, he was the guy that got both kills.
Yeah.
Goes back, gets that ace. And so we're talking about the importance of Jair Santiago. A little bit concerned when he subs out. Other guys grab that torch, and that we've been waiting all season long because it just feels like when they've been so thin on the rosters, there's been no one to get in there and just really help deliver that. So a great bit of support from some of these role players and other guys.
Absolutely. It's great to see, and that's what we expected all along from Puerto Rico this season. With the plethora of talent they have on that island and the amount of players that they have that can play at a high level, to see this many guys at the event and this many guys ready to come in and make a difference, that's why we're going 5 against Freedom.
So a real quick breakdown for you here. At the end of set 3, Freedom was plus 22, Pythons plus 11. Now at the end of that, both teams basically kept an identical. They added plus 6, so Freedom went plus 28, Pythons plus 6, but it just speaks to Pythons finally, they kept that, right at it. They weren't giving up those long runs.
Yes.
So there might be a far bigger difference over the entire match with losses at 25-16, 25-20, as opposed to the 2 Puerto Rico wins are wins by 2 in extra innings. But Python's really playing their game there.
Yeah. And that's something I alluded to earlier with Freedom. You don't want to let a team like Puerto Rico hang around because of the energy and the enthusiasm that they play with. You give them a few points here to get back in a match, and they could do exactly what they did with a big serve there. Finish that off.
Again, you and I have we've had years of discussions about how we read stats, how we evaluate players. That's why we were so successful with that Ramblers organization before I abandoned you.
Still hurt.
I look down, and this is where stats tell only what you see. We see that Arnaldo Torres has 3 kills. He's been blocked twice and 1 error. So it's essentially like a wash when he's attacking. And yet 2 of those 3 kills were the most important kills of the match.
Late in the set.
And then he comes out and gets the ace. So
Yep.
Stats are numbers without time.
Yep.
And understanding how important really speaks to just, he's dialed in mentally. There's no regard for what the last 2 blocked pipe attacks look like. This is my moment. This is my time. and a confidence from the setter to go to him.
And what are you doing late in the set? What are you doing after 20?
Yeah,
I always like to look at that step.
Yes.
Right? When things are tight and you need a big side out, what are you hitting in that moment?
Because that's where great players earn their paychecks.
Yes.
That's what you expect and demand. But we're into it. Game to 15 here. Matt Elias starts us off with a float serve. And they go back to that pipe. Once again, it is just not the answer. I want to see them shut that one down. Like, you've tried it, 0 for 3.
Yeah.
I like the look, but you're not getting the rewards on your they're not respecting it, really, on the blocking side.
Yeah, and I think you have to go to the middle a few more times in order for that play to work, because Matt Seifert's basically not respecting the middle at this point. He's waiting for the pick.
Right. Santiago step close, and that is a massive block. Seifert almost put that one back onto his side.
Yeah, it was tough to tell what side that was on.
He was very penetrated on that block.
It's a tough swing for Jair, for the big guy to be so low and inside. I think he's got to do a little bit different with that ball.
Ooh, good acceleration there. Elias, what a set. Track down. Santiago gets another chance.
Oh,
Paid the toll on that one. Got a nice little bounce. A little bit of, Jared Ray pulled off the block. Seifert went up. Seifert's job there demanding, hey, this is what we're doing. We're going up together. So miscommunication there, and as a result, squeaks by his left side. Yeah. If Ray was in there, I think that probably just dies right on the net for Puerto Rico.
Seifert can't be happy about that as the leader of the blocking. It's always the middle's discretion to say whether you jump and block or stay down.
Good pass from Milnazik. Norman with a lefty tip funneling his inner Jake Langlois.
Haven't seen that one before from the big fella.
That really feels reminiscent of Langlois. He gets that tight ball to the pin, just behind the head. He usually goes with his right. Norman adding his own little style points to that, goes left. But I love that. That's new era Joe Norman. That just
absolutely.
So heads up. Wow, good off speed from Ray. Milnazik finds a dig. Ferriter's going to air this one out. Give Ray a chance. Good control ball. No errors. Python's now with a free chance. And Santiago says, thanks, boys. Big guys gotta eat.
I could see this fifth set being the battle of the opposites here. A lot of Jair, a lot of Joe Norman on the side of Freedom.
Either whoever wins, that oppo is man of the match.
Yeah, agreed.
It's, they're both just the heavy lifters here. Asking ye shall receive. Great recognition. Man, I can't say it enough. I'm so impressed with how Arnaldo Torres has come in to be one of the few guys finally stopping Joe Norman.
Yeah. He's not trying to do too much. He's putting himself in a good spot. He's getting low and tight over the net. He's giving Joe Norman some problems right now.
3 apiece. Pythons answer the call. Outside. And there's the angle. Ferriter.
Big time swing.
Man, both teams. This is some of the best we've seen. Both teams just battling out, taking swing after swing. Also, the match has been interesting to watch the progression. I don't know if you saw it. It was either set 2 or 3. The first 12 points, I think 8 of them were middles, just going back and forth from both sides.
Yeah.
And, we've gotten away from that. But there was a moment there where every setter was determined to let his middle get his licks in. And it's just been very interesting to watch how it's gone throughout.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Jair Santiago.
Dropping bombs.
Yes.
Out there. That was a high-level swing.
And with that, 4-4. Again, Python mitigating errors means Python staying right in it.
Yes, and digging balls. They are getting a ton of transition opportunities here in set 4 and 5.
Good pass from Milnazik. Another dig, no clean kills. Ferriter's really got to unload on that ball to find his way through it. If he hits that anything less, that ball's tracked down. Yeah.
Yep.
But then again, Ferriter's got a cannon, so.
Yeah, he put some pace on the ball for sure.
He was a massive addition. We've talked about some of the pieces getting added.
Yes.
He was one of the few guys that got added last year.
An underrated addition, I think, for the Freedom. A lot of guys talk about Jared Ray, but Tim Ferriter is a really solid player.
Norman gets the overpass, but it goes to Elias, so Buffum has to take ball 2. And now Ferriter attacking down the line.
Right
Buffum with the back set.
One thing that I love Elias's game, he's one of my favorite setters in the league. One thing I think he does too much is he takes a lot of free balls.
Yes.
A lot of balls that come over there, he takes first contact. It's something that he, I think, and Freedom as a whole just needs to work on. You got to have him taking second contact whenever possible.
Yeah, and it comes down to one of those things, honestly, he's just more confident than any other setter and his ability to take it, and therefore he looks for it, which you love up until you don't get him on the easy ones.
Right.
Norman tracks this one down, but a free ball opportunity. Pacheco takes one.
They could turn this one.
Oh. I get the willingness to ride the hot hand. That's a tough set because you go, wow, he's been performing well for us. At the same time, Jair Santiago is front row. Use your big guy, and you were down by 2. You got to let him swing.
And it's same side of the court, right? He's pushed into area 2. Just throw it up there and let the big guy go eat.
Yeah. So 7-4, timeout called. Just a reminder, we do rotate sides at 8. So both these teams going to see, if that's going to be on their account right now, or are Pythons able to get it.
Big moment for Pythons, I think, to push a couple points here before you see that turn. You don't want to go 8-4 into that turn. It's a pretty big deficit.
Yeah, I learned firsthand yesterday. You certainly don't want to go 8-1 into it. Jeez.
I didn't want to bring it up. And
you get up here long enough when you've got an association with your team. You got to be able to wear it on your sleeve. And it is what it is.
You guys came back, though. You guys put up a battle in that 5th set.
And again, that's just, you got to have the faith in your guys. Go to a couple different guys that sat for 4 sets. Chris Greaves and Kendall Ratter coming in off the bench.
Yeah.
We were outscoring where we needed to, but we were well on our way to the Earth's core with the hole we had dug before we could start patching that one up. But
credit to Russ Holmes and the Stingers for a great comeback victory.
You were thankful that locked you guys in
can't
first.
Say I wasn't.
That's going to guarantee a Wild Stingers rematch in 3 weeks' time in the first round.
Not quite guaranteed. I think we still have to take care of
business. I appreciate your candor. That's I'm calling that one guaranteed.
Joe Norman is absolutely unloading from the service line right now, putting a lot of pressure. Tough ball.
Buffum goes for a cutback. Good pacing from Alomar. He fronts Buffum, so Buffum cannot just swing away to 5 there.
Yeah.
Looks for the cutback because he's smart enough to see it, but didn't quite execute how he might want to.
If I'm Alomar here, I'm probably thinking pin to pin, either Joe Norman on the D ball or Ferreter, who's been pretty good in this 5th set.
Yeah. Oh, Jair gets a hold of that, but a good pass by Ray. Going to be tracked down. Amari Miranda finds it back in.
Nice play.
Pythons live for another point. Ray swings. Oh, Ismail so close. Gets the block touch, gets the first point, but then it, gets the double. Goes for 3 contacts in a row. The first 2 actually legal. That third one's going to do it.
Can't play volleyball by yourself out there.
If he was playing beach, he would have had all 3 contacts for himself.
Right. He made the correct read there, too.
Yeah.
Super disciplined, middle of the court, saw the bic, just didn't quite get over the net early enough, and that ball snuck underneath him.
That's the hard part, too, is when you have good vision. Sometimes you see it, but your body's got to read and react to what your eyes are seeing. And so he's already making that move to the pin, reacts, stops, and adjusts. He's just a tad late, which you can't blame him. It's a great move, but unfortunate all the same. However, Freedom, 8-5. In a nice little spot for themselves here.
Still a lot of volleyball left here for the Pythons.
Tim Ferreter serving. Means Matt Elias, the only quote-unquote short blocker front row. See if they can take any advantage of that. Perfect pass. Middle attack, there it is.
I love that set.
Yep. A little bit of a push. That means you're not just attacking straight above them. The only way that you're going to get some help there would be Elias stepping in, but great little bit of movement there from Pythons.
Absolutely, and one thing that Freedom has is big middles.
Yes.
So anytime you could run some different routes and give them some different looks, you're going to be successful.
Spin goes long. That can't happen. I think, we've seen right at the end of the game, we were talking about Arnaldo Torres with so much success, and now he's had a couple of those errors that he's taken those points right back. Good pass. Low set, covered, kept alive. There it is. Pacheco sends it over. Jared Ray off the hands, and that's going to be a net from the side of the Pythons. And, they want it back. at the same time, silver lining, they did what they came here to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They punched their ticket.
They're qualified. They're in.
So now this is a pride win.
Yes.
Can we get this? Because also they're currently third in what I don't think anyone would even disagree is the most loaded division.
Yeah.
Stunners, Freedom, Pythons.
Yep.
Everyone else is sitting there going like, hey, you guys handle that. We're going to all stay clear because that is an absolute battleground over there.
You guys beat up on each other a little bit, and we'll stay on this side of the bracket.
We'll steer clear. So that was certainly where Pythons had a tough road ahead. And you got to feel for Blaze almost because they're kind of buried also in that same side.
Yes.
And they've got Tyrants in their bracket.
Yes.
Finding that fourth spot, it only ever felt like the biggest uphill battle. So
Absolutely. And this would mean that the Pythons will take on the Stunners or the Tyrants in the first round of the playoffs, I believe.
Yeah, depending on how those matches respectively. Yep. Well, Tyrants also picked up a perfect 3-set win.
That's correct.
Because no Chicago.
Yeah, so that helps their chances for that top spot in the National Conference.
It certainly does. Well, where Seifert might have seen Buffum get beat on that last push route, Seifert opened up that book and says, sir, I've seen this one before. I coach my boys on how to stop this one.
Fool me once, right? Great read by Matt Seifert there.
Oh! Santiago's not even sure where that went. He didn't react because he wasn't being disrespectful. He was looking for someone to tell him where that ball went.
Yeah, it was coming so fast it was hard to see if it was on their side or the side of Freedom.
Gotta say, one of my all-time worst memories, and I'm lucky I still remember it. I remember in the training gym with Jair, I went up to block when in some of my younger days, got head over net. I made eye contact with Jair above net.
That's scary.
Yeah. Realized I dropped my face, and he hit a ball off the side of my head, boxed my ear. And that was some of the 5 longest minutes of my life where you're trying to remember which way is up.
Yeah. That's one guy you don't want to get hit in the head by with the amount of pace he puts on the ball.
Yeah, so I know where Jared Ray there, while he didn't get hit in the head, I understand why he was a little concerned and lost where that ball went. Oh, what a dig by Milmazic. Wow,
standing down ball.
The standing down ball. And Miranda, ball through the net. No net there.
Yeah,
no one really arguing that.
Looked like it was the ball. The Pythons are sticking around. They're siding out here, but they're not doing themselves any favors with these missed serves here in the 5th set.
We have talked about missed serves all weekend long. It's been a lot. At the same time, we've also watched these teams pass at ridiculous clips on anything shy of absolutely cranked serves.
You definitely don't want to give them free balls, but got to find that balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Triple block, recycled back, nicely done by Pacheco. Santiago, and he gets that tool out. Oh, inbounds, it tags the line. Joe Norman gets the line bounce.
Yeah, it was a bit of an awkward approach angle for Jair there. Looked like a tough swing. I thought he was going to get it, but Joe Norman was turned that left hand in and got the block. See a Jared Ray bomb here.
Good pace. Well, you got the good. I think they were ready for a Jared Ray bomb too. Yeah. Seifert controlling first ball, gets the tempo set up. Norman, one blocker is no problem.
It's Freedom volleyball at its finest right there.
I really like, though, this is one of those things that when you talk about dictating the pace of the game, Matt Seifert right there, he controls the entire pace. That ball in front of the 10-foot line, yes, someone behind him could take it, but he just dictates it. He delivers such a good ball.
Yes.
Establishes such a nice tempo for Elias to now operate out of.
Yep.
And that's gonna do it. 15-18. New Jersey Freedom have a tough loss yesterday against the OC Stunners. They win that first set, and then 3 straight go the way of the Stun. Or again, I keep saying that. They battled back in the 4th to send it 5, but just can't quite find it with an untimely injury, honestly, with Sam Schuldenberg going down. That meant that Tom Burrell and Matt Seifert were playing 6th rotation middle blocker there. Very, very tough. Yeah, but today they answer back. Jake Milmazic dons that white jersey, and a great answer for them for a team that went with the first perfect season in 2022 regular season. Yeah. And then they've struggled this year. They had 3 reverse sweep 5-set losses in a row, and it was tough to watch. They always travel pretty thin. They've got to get all the way across the country, but here they are. This is a nice win to head So
and with them being undefeated last year, obviously they had a great team, but I actually like this team's chances better going into the playoffs.
Yes.
With the way they're playing right now, after that bit of a slump they had, those 5 set losses, and adding guys like Jared Ray, having Ferreter there, if they can get Ian Cap back into the fold for the championship.
Very much so. It also speaks that some of these teams have started settling. You can tell the coaches and the owners that have been through the song before. I mean, that's where, like, I usually line up and also the match because I'm not planning for the match. I'm looking at when I get to event 6, who are my guys. And that's when you see Freedom setting different lineups. It's not just always who's available because, again, they have a lot of guys playing. Ian Cap is a guy that wins grass tournaments all over the country, making a lot of money doing it. So he's out at Wapaka playing this weekend in the Midwest. But, again, they're sending the right guys. They're looking at who's got what matchups and things like that.
Right.
They're looking at the right recipes. Coach Carlo Edra down there masterminding who's going to be the guys when they get to dog days at 6.
Carlo and Justin have been around for a while. They know what it takes to be successful.
Absolutely, which also is why I want to say now from the side of the Puerto Rico Pirates, massive congratulations to them.
Absolutely.
They've now punched their ticket in their inaugural season. We see 2 of the 3 brand new teams with Wild and Bull Pythons, both now heading to the championship. Founders still technically has a way in, but it looks like a lot what Blazes was. It's not all in their hands. They've got to get 3 set wins. They need other teams to take key losses.
Yeah, a lot has to happen.
Yeah. They're relying on a Matadors win over Exposure. They're expecting Exposure to lose to you guys here next, and they need all the tiebreakers to go their way. It's a calamity of ifs, buts, and statements.
A big uphill battle for the Freedom. Yeah.
For Founders.
Always mess that up.
Same region, same sound.
Right.
But either way, Pythons also, we saw them use a variety. I think every guy on the bench played there. And so they're getting a sense of, hey, who's going to be ready at Event 6 because they don't want to come out and get blown out. And we've seen them hang with the best teams in the league. They took Stunners deep early on in the season.
Yep.
They played them well, or they haven't played them yet this event, but we're going to see that matchup tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And they're just playing great volleyball. So, again, for them to squeak in as a 4th seed, oh my goodness.
That's a tough draw in the National Conference. If you win that conference, if you're Stunners or Tyrants and you take control of the conference, that's not an easy draw in the first round to take on Pythons, especially if they bring this amount of players and they have this depth.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. I'm Nick England. This is Vinny Rodriguez. The next match was slated to start at 11:30, which is in 3 minutes. These teams are both going to get a minimum warm-up here, 15 to 20 minutes. I forget exactly what it is. So we'll be a little delayed on that next start, of course, but it's going to be another battle. Ramblers, Exposure. Exposure could punch their ticket on the American Conference if they pull out a win. Also, a loss in 5 here to you guys does the exact same thing. It puts them out of reach in overall points. So they are playing for every single set here on Saturday. We'll have 2 more matches coming your way today. And then finally, the most exciting part of the weekend, NVA All-Star match, American Conference, National Conference, a bunch of the best players in the league going to be putting on a showcase, and that'll be a great time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same place as always. So we'll see you there. Tune in, and we'll be back here live in about 15 minutes. Shout out to the Ramblers, getting you and Spence stopping by today. If you haven't already, at Ramblers NVA USA, go check them out. I like them a little bit less than SD Wild, but that's just a little bit of bias, tinkling in from the past. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll see you right back here. Thanks so much. Don't go anywhere.